Jackson inside. He's got that burst. He's down the left sideline.
Johnson, you're not catching him. He's going to the mall. That's the wildest touchdown with an etch-a-sketch run.
Moore is off to the races on the simple option. Clay-Chalkville Jackson. He will sprint 4-6.
Going deep in the end zone, touchdown.
Hey, welcome in and take a look right now as you look live at Jerry Hood Field at Cougar Stadiums. Clay-Chalkville facing Oxford. The Cougars, not just undefeated, they're ranked number 1 in the entire state of Alabama. The Yellow Jackets, scrappy as always, will come in here battling 4-3. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Coulter along with this fantastic Jeffco Ed TV crew, set to bring you Clay-Chalkville and Oxford. These two teams have a pretty good history, and we're going to see it again tonight. As let's take a look at the matchups, okay? Homestanding Clay-Chalkville versus Oxford, 14-6 all time. Oxford won it last year in a rare loss for Clay-Chalkville. They won it last year 21-10. Hey, let's meet the coaches. First, we're going to go across the way. With Oxford head coach Sam Adams. He's in his 5th season with the Yellow Jackets. He led the team to 13-1 last year, losing in the playoffs as they had a fabulous year a year ago. Chris Osborne caught up with Sam Adams.
Chris Osborne here with Oxford head coach Sam Adams. I love the name. Hey, coach, you guys are 4-3, but 3-1 in region play.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of had some ups and downs in our non-region play and a little bit in region play too. But it's a big opportunity tonight against a really good Clay-Chalkville team. Whoever wins this is going to be in a really good spot as far as the bracket goes.
Absolutely, coach. So a lot riding on this. What do you tell your players about playing this tough team?
Well, I mean, we definitely know how good they are at every spot on the field. There's no weakness out there that you could say we're going to pick on this guy or that guy. I mean, they've got 22 good football players out there on both sides of the ball and really solid in the kick game as well. So we feel like we've got some good players too, and we probably haven't played our best at some points in the year, but we feel like we've gotten a whole lot better in the last month or so, and hopefully we can have a good one tonight.
All right, Coach, I'll let you get to your team. Thanks so much for your time and good luck. Back to you guys up top.
Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Coach. Clay-Chalkville's head coach, Stuart Floyd, has an amazing history here as he was a quarterback for Clay-Chalkville back in 1999 when they won their first state championship. Earlier in his career, he was on the staff as an assistant right here at Clay-Chalkville. Floyd was also the head coach at Mortimer Jordan for a while, but then Mama called to speak, and he returned to Clay-Chalkville in 2023 as the offensive coordinator and helped lead the Cougars yet another state championship. Floyd was named the head coach here just a year ago in 2024, so this is his 2nd season in that role, and again they're undefeated. Chris Osborne caught up with Coach Floyd.
Chris Osborne for Jeffco Ed TV on a Friday night here with Coach Stuart Floyd from Clay-Chalkville. Coach, you're having a pretty successful season.
Yeah, it's been good so far.
Everybody healthy, and obviously the Yellow Jackets always come with a little bit of fight.
Yeah, everybody's healthy, and obviously this is one of the ones we've had circled on our goal sheet, so we're excited.
So I know you guys, are taking one game at a time, but you're looking down the road. So how exciting is this that you guys are 8-0?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, but obviously this game kind of, determines where you kind of set yourself up for the playoffs, and obviously being the 1 seed's a big deal. So this is it's a big game for us.
All right, Coach, I'm going to let you get to your team. Thanks so much. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys up top.
Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Coach. There you look at Coach Floyd's record, 4-0. And they are undefeated throughout the year. And as I mentioned at the top, they're not just number 1 in 6A, Region 6. They are number 1 in the state, and that includes 7A. Oxford is 3-1 in the region. They're 4-3 overall. You see Pell City having an up year, 3-2 in the region, 5-2 overall. Mountain Brook they're a scary team, even though they're 2-2 in region play, 5-2 overall. The Indians 2-2, 3-4 in the season. Shades Valley 1-4 in the region, 2-6 overall. Huffman is yet to win in Region 6 and is 1-6 for the season. CTE programs are becoming more and more popular at the high school level. And here's one I really want to find out about. They now have these programs set up for drones. I don't know a lot about them, but I see them over the football fields all the time. But Mia Pippins is here to tell us more about CTE.
Preparing Jefferson County students for the jobs of today and tomorrow with hands-on learning. This is the focus of Career and Technical Education, also known as CTE. One of these CTE pathways is the drone program at Clay-Chalkville High School.
With the growing industry of drone technology, we feel like it's necessary to jump out in front of the industry.
Mr. Patrick Hatcher leads the program, now in its second year.
My background goes from military experience from 25 years of teaching drones inside of the military.
Hatcher is teaching students skills that will help them become certified drone operators, leading to job opportunities.
We teach our students on the platform necessary to go out and pass the FAA Part 107 exam, and we stress that safety is paramount. We're out to teach the components, we're out to teach weather, speed, time, and distance, latitude and longitude, so the kids can learn how to chart on the aviation charts.
Clay-Chalkville student Jordan Rush is the president of the Drone Club. He is using these skills he learned to help record video for the Cougars football team.
My main job is just making sure the film is done correctly. I make sure everything is right with the drone, make sure stuff like the batteries, what's damaged, what isn't damaged, what worked, what doesn't work. Just make sure the footage is good in general.
Jordan says he's been fascinated with drones for several years. And now a senior, Jordan says he's been learning about career opportunities from Hatcher.
They're heavily used in agriculture and can be used with real estate, construction sites, and just really shows a bunch of different uses that drones can really have.
Hatcher expects those opportunities to continue to grow.
Job opportunities are steadfast with the drone technology. The industry is going to keep growing, it's going to get more robust, and it's going to just be around for a long time.
Reporting for Jeffco Ed TV, I'm Maya Pippins.
Cool. Very nice job. Hey, it's time to meet the starters for the Clay-Chalkville Cougars.
Aaron Fry, quarterback. Joshua Woods, running back. Corey Barber, wide receiver. Jakari Johnson, receiver. Kayla Emerson, wide receiver. Nasir Ray, tight end. Christian Bennett, left tackle. Shamar Smith, left guard. Jaden Jones, center. James Felder, right guard. Tavares Powell, offensive line. Colton McIntyre, D tackle. EJ Penn, nose guard. Keith Richmond, defensive end. Quentin Lowe, inside linebacker. Isaiah Brown, middle linebacker. Jamar Yadal, outside linebacker. JT Taylor, outside linebacker. Jalen Melton, safety. Xavier Starks, safety. Braden Butler, cornerback. Deion Callins, cornerback. Joseph Del Toro, kicker.
Stuart Floyd, head coach at Clay-Chalkville High School. It's Big Clay.
And there you have it, the starting Cougars, undefeated and ranked number 1 in the state of Alabama. You're probably aware of this, but the last day of Hispanic Heritage Month was this past Wednesday, October 15th. Jeffco Ed Schools held many events to celebrate this culture. Emma Owens has more.
Through arts, athletics, the sharing of meals, and of history. Jeff Coed proudly honored the cultures, contributions, and traditions of Hispanic and Latino Americans during Hispanic Heritage Month. At Pinson Valley High School, Señorita Quinceañera contestants highlighted their heritage and celebrated the people who inspired them. The newly crowned winner, Arlette Granado Zamora, shared about her mom.
She has taught me everything about our culture. She taught me to bring light where there's darkness. She also taught me to embrace my culture.
Students were also in the spotlight at McAdory High School, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month through dance and other art forms. Our district also enjoyed lively festivals. The entire Pinson feeder pattern came together to enjoy a variety of activities, from tortilla making to live performances and delicious food trucks. Amanda Swift, ESL teacher at Pinson Elementary, helped bring this meaningful event to life.
To see girls dressed up in traditional dresses and the little boys dressed up, it's so special.
This is from sheep wool, and it's made by hand. I'm just trying to represent my country and trying to show our culture.
I know it means a lot to this community that may not normally get a voice, for us to put this on and say, no, like, you are a huge important part of our community, and we celebrate you and your traditions and your culture and your language and what that gives to our schools, but also what that gives to our community.
This celebration of community and culture also taking place at Brighton School. Families filled the hallway, sharing meals, sweet treats, and traditions with students and educators. Among those participating, Beatriz Vidal and 2 of her 3 children.
Bueno, mi niña es un vestido de presentación, es una tradición mexicana. Cuando tienen 3 años se les hace como una mini quinceañera, o sea, un gran party con el vestido de quinceañera. Es 3 años y es presentación. Mi muchacho es chambelán, o sea, la quinceañera siempre lleva un chambelán. Entonces él es tradicional quinceañera chambelán.
She is Mexican. The youngest, Valeria, was dressed with her 3-year-old presentation. The Mexican culture has this presentation. When they turn 3, they have a big party, which is like a quinces for our older kids. So they did that, and then her son was the guys that danced with the quinceañeras. So they were just trying to show some of their culture.
A gesture that empowers, educates, and inspires. For Jeff Coed TV, I'm Emma Owen.
Just another great example of the programs that are put together by the good folks at Jefferson County and our schools. And Jeff Coed TV. Caleb Turrentine will join us on the other side of this break as we get ready for Clay-Chalkville hosting the Yellow Jackets of Oxford.
Introducing the brand new app for Jefferson County Schools. It's everything Jefferson County Schools in your pocket. This is the home screen. Tap the 3 horizontal lines in the bottom left to see all the menu items. To turn on push notifications, tap Settings, select Notification Preferences, and allow notifications. Tap Subscriptions to subscribe to your school. The Events section shows a list of events throughout the school. You can use this button to add an event to your calendar, or tap here to share the event with friends and family. The feed is where you'll find updates from administration about what's going on throughout the school, whether that's celebrating a student's success or reminding you about an upcoming deadline. Search Jefferson County Schools Alabama in the App Store or Play Store to explore the app for yourself. It's everything Jefferson County Schools in your pocket.
Back on Jeff Coed TV, I'm Matt Coulter, Scott Griffin, and Chris Osborne are going to be joining us here shortly. Of course, we already heard from Chris, but not Caleb. Caleb Turrentine is in the booth. He's in the house. He is right here at Cougar Stadium. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. This is perfect weather. I could not imagine a better night for some October football, big region game. this is what you want. This is what you want if you're both teams. Obviously, Clay-Chalkville is going to come into this as big favorites for good reason. But Oxford is, one of the last teams to beat them. Only team to beat them in the last 5 years in region play. So they have a little bit of confidence of their own, and I think going to see two good teams that are going to be in the playoffs take the field tonight.
They have a great history, too. As you look to the east end zone, you will see 99, 14, 21, 23, Hut. No, those are the years that Clay, and they've only been around since 96, so they've won 4 in that short amount of time. But Oxford has probably an even better history, at least it is certainly longer. They got 4 titles of their own.
Yeah, and their last one was 2020. The 2023 one, that's one that'll stick with me for Clay-Chalkville. That Clay-Chalkville-Saraland game was one of the best state championship games I think I've ever watched. Obviously, Ryan Williams for Saraland, Jalen Mbakwe for Clay-Chalkville, just trading blows. That game is one that goes down in the Super 7 history books. But you're right. You can look back a couple of years and find history, but it's a lot longer than that for Oxford. And it's funny because we're talking about what the past of Oxford's football team, just the past 3 years, they're connected to the history because of who was their quarterback over the last 3 seasons and who's their quarterback now. And it's the 4th straight year that they have a Mims under center, and this year it's Maddox Mims. We're going to talk a lot about him tonight, replacing Mason Mims, who's now at Louisville. But just guys who know how to throw the football, and they can sling it. And that's something that can always keep you in a game, and they're going to need him tonight against Clay-Chalkville.
Well, and they've got another Mims, Bo, part of that family. He's a part of the receiving corps, so Mims everywhere. You know, we had Clay-Chalkville in our opener, and I really thought that was going to be a pretty good game. Well, it was, if you were wearing the darker blue and saluting the Cougars. But number 1 and number 2 got together, and they've blown everybody out this year except for Thompson. They beat them 24-20. But the next closest game's margin is 27.
Yeah, that was the game we were at. Yeah. And that was 42-0 at halftime. They didn't have their best second half. But a big reason for these blowouts, yes, they've had good players all over the field for the last several years. But when you have a guy like Corey Barber join the team, we saw him at his best in that first game. He had 2 touchdowns of 60-plus yards in that game. He had a punt return for a touchdown. He scored a receiving touchdown in every game this season. That's why he's a 4-star recruit. That's why he's going to Ole Miss.
Did he throw one in that game?
He did. That was number 2, Xavier Starks.
Okay, that was
so.
The
Yes, that's right. Because he's the punter, and it was a throw on a fake punt, I believe. But that was both of them will get their hands on the football, and they're going to make plays.
Hey, you at home watching, we appreciate you very much. Right here at Jerry Hood Field, we're going to stand for the playing of our national anthem.
For our national anthem, as played by your mighty marching Clay-Chalkville Cougars.
To the Clay-Chalkville Cougars Marching Band. And we bring you the halftime shows, and I can't wait to see them because they marched in with a sense of rhythm and pride and music, and they'll be up. And, of course, we'll catch a little bit of Oxford, too. And I don't know about you, the first set of fireworks kind of Gave me a little bit of a shock. The second one I was expecting.
Yeah.
But back to the game. We were talking about 1 and 2, and Aaron Fry and Corey Barber. But, one of the guys I noticed when we were playing or seeing them play earlier this year was Josh Woods. He's perhaps a D1 or a D, FCS, FBS. I just used to go D1 and D2. But he's a good player, and when they want to go to the ground game, he can run inside, and he's got a little speed. He can bust it out.
He does. He's been their starter for the last couple of seasons, and it's funny that he's been their lead back. He has over 700 yards this season, 12 rushing touchdowns of his own. He doesn't have a run longer than 24 yards.
Really?
That's what's so funny about this guy is that he might not break something long, but they will feed him over and over again. He gets better as it goes, but those 10, 12-yard gains, they will add up against a defense, and he can really help wear him out. And that's when you turn over to Aaron Fry and say, hey, all of a sudden we have a guy who can throw it 30, 40, 50 yards downfield, and that's why this offense has clicked so well this year.
I watched both of them, as did you, in warm-ups. But Mims was out first, and he was standing on the 35 and throwing dimes in the back corner of the end zone. Even though he's a sophomore, for the Yellow Jackets, I saw a really strong, accurate arm.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who think that he's better at this age as a sophomore than his brother was as a sophomore, and his brother is currently the backup quarterback at Louisville, who's giving Miami a run for their money right now, if anyone is paying attention to that game as well. But I expect over the next couple of years you'll see Maddox Mims recruiting dial up a notch, and he'll be playing maybe Power 5 football in 3 years.
Captains, you're watching the Cougars. They stroll through the netting. There's the Cougars and the Yellow Jackets. Let's get the toss of the coin.
All right, gentlemen, congratulations on being named team captains for your team tonight, okay? Brings a little responsibility to you, though, okay? Alabama High School Athletic Association emphasizes sportsmanship. We do the same as a crew. We love to hear good things go across the line of scrimmage to each other. So good tackle, good run, good pass. We're not going to tolerate any negative going across the line of scrimmage, okay? So as a captain, if you got a teammate you feel like getting a little bit negative, get to them, get them away from the situation so we don't have a flag on the field against your team. Everybody good on that? All right, Oxford's going to be the away team. I got a coin. It's got a heads. It's got a tails. It says heads. It says tails. What are you going to call? What did he say? I'm going to flip it. I'll catch it. If I drop it, I'll do it again.
Number 10.
It is heads. You win the toss. You want the ball. You want to kick from the clock.
Number 57.
So Clay-Chalkville, put your back to the field house. Oxford, put your back to the clock.
And number 98. Cougars will receive to open the contest.
There you have it. Toss of the coin, well done by the officials. And Cougars will have the ball first. And anytime they have the ball, they are capable of, like you said, grinding out a 10-yard, blocking, wedge, grinding out a 10-yard rushing game, and then they go 70 yards.
That's just what's going to happen. They've done that to every team that they've faced this season. I mean, even Thompson, you said it was a 4-point win, but their offense had big plays when they needed them in that second half. That was a big comeback victory for them. This team has average margin of victory is 39.5 points per game, 48 in region play. That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen.
What did you say in region play?
48 points per game, margin of victory.
Oxford's a scrappy team, and you can tell within region play they're very competitive. As Clay-Chalkville's 4-0, but you look right underneath at 3-1. There you got Oxford.
Yeah, you don't really need to worry about common opponents and how good the other team is. When Oxford comes into this game and says, we can still win a region title as well. They win tonight, they get put in the driver's seat. So that is still a goal of theirs. I think what you see it in their offense. They're good enough to really compete with anyone in the state. It's that defense. That defense is not the same as what it has been in past seasons. They've allowed 28 points per game. That would be the second most in for a season in school history. They want to improve on that. Unfortunately, the team that is in their way now might be the best offense in the state. But they need something to happen on the defensive side of the ball for Oxford to have a chance tonight.
There you see the Cougars coming onto the field. They love the fireworks here in Clay-Chalkville. I like them too. Oxford came through it about the side.
same time on the other end of the field, and you see them. They'll be wearing the white jerseys, white pants. They have a gold and blue trim. They look a little bit like Georgia Tech. On this sideline in all dark blue, it's not a Royal, it's not a Navy. It's somewhere in between. You've got the Cougars and maybe a Penn State look-alike in some ways. But we're about ready for Jeffco Edge TV's Game of the Week. You see at the bottom of your screen, we got 12 minutes for the first quarter. Oxford and Clay-Chalkville. Caleb, hang on. We might be lighting up that scoreboard.
I think we will. I'm very confident in one team, and I think Maddox Mims might be the real deal. Could struggle at times, but he does enough to keep them in it no matter the score. So I think we'll see points from both sides, especially as we see Corey Barber getting out there, very excited. He's you know Oxford's not going to kick it directly to him if they can avoid it. Averages 30 yards per kick return this season. Avoid giving him the ball at all costs.
Yes. Woods is one of the upbacks as we are set for play here at Cougar Stadium. Welcome into Jeffco Ed TV. Barber, jersey 2, standing at about the 10, and they don't keep it not anywhere near his direction. It's taken to the 25, zigzagging up to the 34-yard line as a return man, and that's where the Cougars will have it first and 10.
Kick return by number 29 for the Cougars, Caden McGee.
Caden McGee on the return. You heard our helpful public address announcer.
First and 10 for the Cougars.
They huddled at the sideline, talked to their coaches, and then went straight to the line of scrimmage, which is the 35. There's the inside handoff. That is Woods, and he got to the line of scrimmage, and there were white jerseys everywhere. No gain. It'll be second and 10.
And that's the kind of defense Oxford's going to need tonight. You can talk about focusing in on Corey Barber, focusing on the deep ball, but it starts up front. And when you can slow down Josh Woods, you might be able to keep the offense in check just a little bit more.
Fry is in gun formation. He's a player, too. We talked about him. Aaron Fry claps, takes the snap, swings out to Woods. He is hit at the line of scrimmage and will lean forward for about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 9 as Oxford defense is standing strong.
It's an impressive start. I know you got to get off the field on 3rd downs, but 2 plays in, I think you got to at least think that Oxford's defense feels a little bit more confident facing an offense that not a lot of teams feel confident against.
Well, you know, it's out there. The Cougars run, and they, for the most part, it's a pass that is a run. Now you expect them to go vertical, and here they come. Fry coming at you, Cameron. There's a flag. He cuts inside one tackler across the 45. That is a first down for the Cougars, but hang on to your flags.
Flag on the field.
That's holding
Flag ball carrier
against the Cougars. It would have been a first down, but now it's going to be 3rd and very long. We'll check the officials to see how far they move it back, and I would guess somewhere around the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was an obvious hold. It was, I don't know if it would have been a sack with the way Aaron Fry moves, but you did it. You were the only lineman there. You pulled back on the only defender there right in front of the referee, too.
Spot foul, 10 back. So I would expect them to go vertical again. Fry barking signals. He wants to throw a slip screen underneath. That's Barber. Barber shakes, fakes to the 35, well short of the first down. Good opening stand.
And getting to Barber quickly was key there because that's their idea. Yeah, it might have been 3rd and very, very long, but you get the ball to Corey Barber quickly. You never know what he'll be able to do. Oxford defense closed on him. Everyone came together. That's how you have to stop him.
Jalen Taylor is punting. He is the backup punter. Xavier Sparks is a bit banged up. Bounce around from, I guess they go to the 35 to the 33, perhaps. Where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Well, you said it in our opening game. Yes, we can't dial up better weather. During the day today, now I was, as y'all know, I was over in Talladega working the races. Thus the incredibly beat red face that you saw earlier. But it was 85 degrees and humid. It's perfect now as we're now probably closer to 72. Very little breeze. Here comes Oxford. There's an inside handoff, spinning for back and bring down 2nd down.
No gain on the play, 2nd down.
Ball carrier Josh Dupree.
Zay Brown coming up off the bottom of the pile.
We will talk a lot about Clay-Chalkville's offense, but you don't blow out teams with just an offense, and this defense is really, really special. The defense is really what won them that game against Thompson. Big play by Colton McIntyre. We'll be talking a lot about number 5 on the front.
Bad spot by Maine. 2nd down and 10. There was no gain on the previous play. There's a pass out to Jalen Taylor. That'll gain about 6.
Gain of 6 will be 3rd and 4. Long is at the 39-yard line.
And a great atmosphere out in the Clay-Chalkville area. All right, 3rd and 4 for Oxford. Motion. Mims takes the snap. Then he pitches right in. Trying to get 4 or 5. He might have gotten 1 and bring it a punting situation. Punting decision for the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
And I'm not real sure about that play call. You're running a toss sweep and a delayed toss sweep at that to the short side of the field. Asking to get 5 yards against this defense on that kind of play is asking a lot from your running back.
I've always wondered running to the weak side. There's an extra tackle over there now. Some do it very effectively. I'm sure Oxford will later on. Punt, kind of a line drive. That is not Barber. He goes down in a
Lonnie English with the stop for Oxford.
So, the Cougars will get the ball, their 2nd possession in just less than 4 minutes of play. Not really the way I expected it to start, but fireworks here at the stadium. We start on this very next snap.
I will note that Clay-Chalkville did not score on their first possession of the season. Still put up 42 points in that first half against Hueytown.
Oh, he is slammed to the ground, but his forward progress getting a little chippy. Probably going to get a couple yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Clay-Chalkville.
Now you might see a little chippiness tonight. Again, Oxford beat this team last year. They feel like they're good enough to beat them again. And Clay-Chalkville, region title's on the line. There's a lot to get chippy about.
Fry, back to pass, throws, sideline, Barber. He got enough you practice that. You practice that because it is purely a timing toss. And Fry and Barber kind of. Inside handoff. No, it's a keeper. Far in, Aaron Fry will twist forward to the 50-yard line in midfield. That'll be picked up a 6. Man, did he ride the hip glitch into the line of scrimmage. He got me.
That's what he has gotten better at, and we mentioned that at the start of the season. They wanted to run Aaron Fry a lot more. He just passed 500 yards rushing on the season. He has 6 rushing touchdowns. He's taken some hits, but he's gotten a little tougher. You can tell he's a little bit thicker, got a lot more muscle on him than he did last year. They want to move him around.
Out of the shotgun, wants to throw quickly, Woods across sideline, got running off, makes a Yellow Jacket miss. He's crossed out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Well designed and executed play.
Yeah, that is exactly what you want out of a quarterback, Aaron Fry. You put a running back in motion to the sideline and no one went with him. Don't make it any more difficult than it needs to be. Realize he's wide open. Let him run 5 yards, hit him, and then let him do work on the defense after he catches it.
Diaz Fleming on the tackle for Oxford. Fry wants to unload. He's going deep. Overthrows his intended receiver. That was Corey Barber, the senior destined for Ole Miss.
Yeah, not a bad throw. If you're throwing it into double coverage, you better put it to where only your receiver can get it. And you're throwing it up to Corey Barber probably is never a bad decision. So
you're paid well as a color analyst because that's about as good as it gets. Out of the gun. Fry. Man in motion left side. He throws back there. Barber will get about 6. Let's go to Chris Osborne on the sideline.
Hey guys, I can tell you Oxford is making a statement on defense early. They are containing the corners, and very little yardage is being gained by Clay-Chalkville, even though they're completing passes. But I can tell you these kids came to play, and their coach has them prepared on defense. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. 3rd down and a short 7. We'll just call it 6. There's the clap. Quarterback keeper trying to get a first down. He's got more than 15 inside the 10. First and goal for the Cougars as he rips off a 17-yard run.
Boy, that was set up with the play earlier. Exact same formation. Trips to the right. You send the running back out to the left side in motion. That time the safety moved over there. Opened up the middle for Fry.
Going NASCAR, give it to Woods, left guard. He's inside the 5, and he's 2nd and goal for the Cougs.
J-Dub, Joshua Woods slices his way to the 5-yard line.
You can see the clock.
And
Bottom of the screen graphic coming up to the 5.5-minute mark. As Clay-Chalkville is mounting a scoring drive here. Just inside the 5-yard. 2nd and goal. Fry will keep. Fry is going to be tossed back for a loss.
No gain on the
Coming
play.
in
Will
from the
be
left
3rd
side
and goal
is
for the
Aiden
Cougars.
Loyola. Great defensive play.
Clay-Chalkville was starting to move the ball going through the middle. We saw it with Woods. We saw it with Fry just a few yards at a time. That's a big stop, making it third and long considering where they're at on the field. They got to get in the end zone. I would expect this to be 2-down territory.
Still 3rd. And now it's 3rd and goal at the 6. Van cranks it up. Looking to the right side of the end zone. He throws underneath, incomplete, and a diving attempt. Jakari Johnson.
Pass intended for Jakari Johnson falls incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They got a bull for a kicker now, but I
And
do not know.
Will try for 3.
Yep.
I'm a little surprised early on that they will be kicking this.
Well, their kicker, you see right there, Joseph Del Toro. He is very accurate. He will kick at the college level.
3 points for the Cougars with
And
4:32
he boots it
remaining in the Hempstead.
He boots it through. We got 3-0 Cougars right here on Jeffco Ed TV.
Welcome to Clay-Chalkville High School. We are Big Clay. We are Jeff Co-Ed Strong.
Thank you, Jeffco. Jeffco Ed TV. Cougars on the board first for 32 remaining in the first period as Del Toro will tee it up. I bet I don't have to give you too many guesses as to his nickname.
Ooh.
It's Del Toro, Hispanic. Yes, he is the bull.
There's the catch. Oxford running laterally. Now turning vertically across the 26, 27-yard line. Now Oxford will come out with their second possession here the first quarter.
That's why they tell you to run north-south. He ran about 30 yards on that play and I think gained 4. So sometimes you think you can run around a defense, but everyone stayed in their lane.
I think he just took return right too literally. Line of scrimmage, a 27-yard line. Oxford with the football. Maddox Mims, the sophomore quarterback, receives the football, wants to throw. Now he's going to keep. Now he wants to throw. Finally out of bounds. Nice catch by the coach.
It's pretty clearly not grounding. I think we might hear some stuff in the crowd there. He was well outside the tackle box, threw it away. Smart play. I think he did have a guy in the middle behind the defense. I don't think he saw it quickly enough, but still a good, smart play to throw the ball away, and that's what happens when you have a quarterback family. I think you probably make the right decision a lot often.
Yeah, that's what you talk about over Thanksgiving dinner and every other dinner of the week. There's a man in motion. Delhan sweeping, cutting back for a 3-yard gain. That must have been a wide receiver they brought around, or a tight end. Maybe that was Bo Mims. Jersey number 13, Maddox Mims. You got trips to the top, which you can see on our Jeff Co-Ed TV screen. Mims wants to check the sideline and does so. Under 10 on the play clock. Wants to throw, does so. The quick in, not much of a gain. As a really nice play by Isaiah Brown. Watch 15.
It's a great job of closing out on a quick throw. That's going to happen. They're trying to get the ball out quick out of Maddox Mims' hands. You can see that he's taken a lot of sacks this year, and that's something that you can't really fix from a young quarterback's perspective. Especially with this defensive front for Clay-Chalkville, you can tell they want to get the ball out of his hands quick. Unfortunately, on 3rd and long, that's going to be the result more often than not.
Very high. It's a really good punt. Fair catch made at the 30, maybe the 29-yard line. Usually in that case, they mark it right at the 30 because it's easier for the down markers. It's easier for the coaches. It's easier for the players. It's easier for Caleb and Matt.
I like it when they make it easier for us, too.
Yeah. And you know, we're first on their consideration list.
Oh, yeah. We talk to the play calls before they go in every single time.
I walked around a lot as I got here a lot earlier than I anticipated. It's just a good atmosphere. You see something, and we get a shot later of the Cougar fans. They almost all of them have shirts with the player's name on it. Fry with a keeper, and the Yellow Jackets are swarming. That's a loss of 3.
Yeah, I think he's kept it almost a little bit too many times on these read options, and they finally made an adjustment. It seems like they had 3 guys ready for him.
Hey, Scott Griffin has made his appearance to the Clay-Chalkville sideline.
Hey, guys. Isaiah Brown was terrific in that last defensive series, as you saw, number 15, the middle linebacker. Clay-Chalkville, we talk about their offense. Barber right there with a catch from Aaron Fry. But defensively, they're so quick, so agile. Secondary's terrific. Front four's terrific. That's really where the bread and butter is for this team. Fry the glory, but defensively is where they're separated.
Nah, they'll give him 9, maybe 9 and change, as it'll be 3rd down and 1 for Clay-Chalkville at the 39-yard line. Woods up the middle. He's got the first down. Breaking outside. Made a man miss. Woods is on the run. 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Joshua Woods, the senior, goes the distance.
Wow, how about that? What did I say before the game? He hadn't had a run longer than 24 yards
you challenged
this
him.
season.
He heard you.
Oh, and he turned on the afterburners, too. I think he could sense someone was behind him. And once he made that cut around the 50-yard line, he broke through. There was no one left in the secondary. big gain. That's what you get. You get a 3rd and short. You see that offense come all the way up, trying to stop it at the line of scrimmage. And once you break through that line of scrimmage, you have a lot of space to work with.
61 yards, Woods. They're going to go for 2. And successfully. Yeah, see, this kind of blows my mind. It's 1 yard deeper. It's 3 yards deeper for the field goal. But they go for 2. You know what? Coach Floyd knows a lot more about it than I do. We have a stoppage in play. Oh, flag on about as far away from Caleb and Matt as you can get.
They're calling it an illegal shift, and that is a risk you take when you're doing all that, trying to have those weird formations. I know they shift from that into a field goal range when they want to, or into a field goal formation.
Now they'll go back to the bull. PAT. 25 yards now following the penalty. Hold, Aaron Fry. Kick. Did he make it inside? Yeah, just inside the left upright goes the bull.
And into the construction site as well.
There's a big pile of dirt back there, you're right. Well, there you see the score. Cougs have jumped on top. That might be 10-0. We'll check it after this break.
Certainly we need more drivers, but we need folks more than that who want to make a difference.
It's the best job in the world. Bus drivers are doing a tremendous job in receiving kids each day with a smile, sending them home each day with a smile, making a difference in their lives.
Most bus drivers are there to invest in the children as well as to gain an investment for themselves. We're excited that you're interested in being a bus driver trainer. The potential is great about changing lives.
You see the Cougars at the left portion of your Jeffco Ed TV. Welcome back. 2:08 remaining here in the second quarter. Caleb Turrentine along with myself, Matt Coulter. You got Scott Griffin and Chris Osborne and our incredibly talented crew. I cannot emphasize that enough. All right. Del Toro tees it up at the 40. Ball's leaning forward, and there he pops it up in the air. It's fielded by Yellow Jacket at the 30. He breaks a tackle across midfield. The ball is loose. It is loose. Boy, there's a scramble of blue and white. Caleb says he thinks it's white. Well, now the Cougars are dancing too. I have not seen an official. The Cougars have it.
Boy, I think you're going to get a great look at who forced this fumble, too. Who made that hit? None other than the Bull himself.
You know, it's so funny. I was talking with one of the coaches in the press box just getting ready, and he was telling me about Del Toro. He said, there's no question this guy will kick at the next level. I think we've kind of seen that. But he said every game he begs his coaches, please, let me play on defense. Let me make a hit. Well, guess what?
His kick return team just gave him a chance to make that hit. And it was a crucial one. That was about to be massive field position change for Oxford. And what a shift in momentum in just mere seconds.
From the 33, fake to Woods. Fry moving in and out. Fry just can't get outside. Let's go to Chris Osborne on the sideline.
So, guys, just like that, Clay-Chalkville with the ball again and another opportunity to score. But Coach Adams for Oxford has been yelling at the refs, saying that there was an illegal shift over and over, and he actually got that call right here for the extra point. So we'll keep an eye to see how that develops. But, again, Coach Adams asking for an illegal shift call, and he got it during the extra point. Back to you guys.
Great observation. Woods is loosed again. He's going to get to close to midfield, about the 48-yard line. That is pickup of 13 and a first down. Cougars as their offense, Caleb, is really starting to roll in the final minutes of the first quarter.
And it's behind Josh Woods more than it is Corey Barber as he gets the ball now.
And speaking of Barber, there he's got it at the 50. I think he heard you. He breaks a tackle, heads down the sideline, finally run out at the 35-yard line. Well, you know, if you call a player, they do something. Maybe you should be on the sideline with headset.
This has been impressive from Clay-Chalkville's offense, especially for the fact that only 3 guys have gained yards. It's Barber, Woods, and Fry at this point.
There's Woods. There's a hole on the left side. Nice blocking. Shamar Smith, Christian Bennett, Jaden Jones, the center, also headed to play on Saturdays. Line of scrimmage now inside the 35, say 33-yard line. That'll be 2nd and 3. Fry with the snap, backup running back, knifing through. He got the first down.
And that's for the first time someone other than Joshua Woods, Aaron Fry, and Corey Barber gaining yards for this offense. And they're starting to move quickly. I feel like they can smell the blood in the water a little bit. Cougars could really blow this thing open if we ever get to the second quarter.
Yeah, I think we're going to make it right now. That's the end of the first quarter of play here in Clay-Chalkville. With the homestanding Cougars up 10-0, we'll take a break on Jeffco Ed TV.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. I'm Dr. Beth Miller, Director of Child Nutrition. This school year, we are thrilled to offer free breakfast and lunch at no cost to all students enrolled in in-person learning. As a community eligibility provision district, we encourage all families to take advantage of this opportunity. Our child nutrition program is devoted to providing healthy and nutritious meals to help fuel our students for a day of learning and growth. From crispy Crispitos to fruits and vegetables, it will all be available for free. If a student would like an extra item, those may be purchased. Again, we encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity so we can continue to provide in future years.
There's a look at Jerry Hood Field. He was here a few years ago, won a state championship. Cute baby. That's a Cougar baby. Not literally.
I don't know, what do you call a Cougar baby? Are they cubs? Are they pups?
You know, I used to play that game with my wife, like Lion's Pride, right? My favorite is Crows. It's a murder of crows. You want me to keep testing you or want to go back?
It looks like we've got a couple more seconds. You know, baby goats. Kids. That's right.
All right. Back to action from the 24-yard line. Cougars have the ball. It's 1st down and 10. Play fake to Robinson. Aaron Fry's on the run. He's trying to get the corner. 25-20. He's inside the 10. Bounces off one Yellow Jacket, and into the end zone goes the senior Aaron Fry.
Boy, that is what we're talking about, why they want him to run the ball more. That wasn't a design run. He stayed in the pocket a long time. Oxford coverage did a great job. And then you almost think when you see a quarterback running, they're going to step out. I think Oxford's defense thought the same thing, but Fry put his left foot in the ground, cut back. Great run, got into the end zone. Clay-Chalkville in full control right now.
The Bull on for the point after. Meanwhile, our version of the Bull, Scott Griffin.
Hey, guys, I'll let you call this play, then I'll tell you.
Running, left in, hauled down. So, point after is unsuccessful. It's 16-0. Back to Scott.
You guys are in Fry, and what that 20 pounds has done for him. He's more powerful. His cuts are more direct. He's strong. He's more confident. His ball comes out faster. You remember him from last year. And, you know, he was good last year. But with that 20 pounds he's added, he's really taking it to another level at quarterback, running and throwing. Another incredible weapon for the Cougars.
You were here last year. You saw him. He was everything is advertised. Now, I've seen him once this year, but you've seen him a couple of years.
He was a skinny kid, you know, and that was part of a little bit of the growing pains you thought they were going to have last year is when they lost Jalen Mbakwe, who, you know, obviously a defensive back wide receiver in college. He played quarterback for them, and when he left and Aaron Fry had to step in last year, he looked like a young quarterback. He was a little bit smaller, and he played like a young quarterback. That is a completely different player this far into the season and looking like a kid who is very, very capable of leading a state championship team.
But in Mbakwe, the one that got into that wild shootout with Thompson like 2 years ago, it was just unbelievably crazy. Like, I think they combined for 90 points or something.
He was fun to watch at a high school level. One of those guys where you're like, yeah, just put the best guy, give him the ball every single play, snap it to him, he'll figure out the rest.
It makes you look like a really good coach. They pop it up. It is caught at the 29. Dupree is going to be slammed. He is twisted and turned into the turf. Should give him the line. Scrimmage should be the 29.
It's right where he caught it. That return team got down there quick. And you can tell, we talked about avoiding Corey Barber. I think Clay-Chalkville is trying to avoid Jalen Taylor, who's a Marshall commit, number 1 for Oxford. He has not been able to get involved at all. Special teams, offense. They want to get him the ball if they want to turn this thing around.
Line of scrimmage is indeed for Oxford, the 29-yard line. Out of the shotgun, and there's motion. Inside, broke a tackle or two. About a 6-yard gain. Williams on the carry.
And we're into the second quarter now, and Clay-Chalkville has 4 drives, 3 scoring drives. Oxford's still looking for their first down of the night.
There's Taylor in motion, play fake. Now, different quarterback here. That pass is incomplete.
Yeah, that was a pretty clear defensive pass interference. Got there very, very early. That'll result in the first down of the night. We have had a quarterback change for Oxford.
Jenkins is in.
He has gotten some playing time this year. Saw him taking a lot of warm-ups with the number 1s. Thought it might mean something, and then Maddox Mings came back out.
Well, there's your first down for Oxford via the penalty, but for the first time they're in Cougar territory. Jenkins flips wide. Dupree slices through, picks up 5 or 6.
Stopped by Jamario Yadal after a gain of 5.
They give him 5.
At the 44-yard line.
44-yard line. Really good time for maybe a fresh set of eyes out there with Caleb Jenkins to make something happen offensively, because the Yellow Jackets have been stagnant. Handoff inside. Good blocking up front. Goodman, Endicott, Feaster on that side. They'll push their way forward for about a 3-yard gain.
And look, Caleb Jenkins isn't any slouch. I mean, he's a senior who sat behind Mason Mims, and that's what just shows you what they think of Maddox Mims, is how good he will be, is the fact that he has had the starting job. But Caleb Jenkins has thrown the ball plenty this year. He's obviously comfortable out there. He has the look of a quarterback. He's got the build of a quarterback. This offense isn't going to change much just because he's in the game.
Yeah, I believe he's the tallest guy on the field. He takes the snap, looks, now he's going to scramble. Jenkins going to be sacked for a loss of 3. Is that Brown again? Now, I have to catch that one a little later, but That'll stop a promising drive in a hurry.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about how many sacks Oxford has taken this year. Been a big problem. Their offense clicks against pretty much everyone, but what slows them down is the pressure that their quarterbacks are under, and this is not a defensive front you want to give the opportunities.
Might have been Leland Johnson with a sack. Boy, there's a dandy punt, and it's going to bounce and roll inside the 5. Better get on it. And they do.
Corey Barber kind of got caught in between, thinking he should field it off the bounce before it bounces, knowing he shouldn't try to jump in there and touch the ball. I think probably ended up being the right decision to just back away. Sometimes you just got to give it to the punter. It was a good punt. You move on. Your offense is playing really well. I'm not sure how much of a difference there is from the 3-yard line and the 20-yard line.
Well, and they're 97 yards away and more than capable of putting them under their feet. 8:57 remaining in the first half. The Cougars on top, 16-0. First man through, either Woods or Robinson.
Woods, the ball carrier.
I think he got to the 5 and was shoved back to the original line of scrimmage. So it will indeed be 2nd and 8.
I think Woods might be on his way to his 400-yard game of the season. He's already at 75. Obviously, the big run helps.
Yeah, it was 61 of it. Fry. We got movement.
Boy, that is a killer penalty, and you're thinking you made the right decision by punting the ball. You got a good punt. You pinned him down there. And your defense gives away 5 free yards. And that is that's just, I mean, it doubles the breathing space from the 5 to the 10. So that could really make this offense spark.
Yeah, you're not passing from your own end zone. They don't pass. They hand off. Woods was held up, then found a burst of speed in a little hole and ended up getting more than enough for a first down. The Cougars now closer to the 15, 16-yard line. Started at their own 3.
And it's not exactly Clay-Chalkville's way to run the ball, run some clock, but right now with being in control of this game, having an opportunity for a long drive, I think you're seeing a little bit more deliberate play calling. I think that's because of the situation of the game. You might not see them go as fast as they did on those first 3-4 drives.
Well, having your back under the goalpost probably has a little to do. Got a man open. Barber's open. Fry on the run, far sideline. He's out of bounds just before 24. Was about to lay it on. There's another gain for the Cougars.
Boy, you saw him too. I saw Corey Barber coming across the middle. I mean, he wasn't wide open. It wasn't an easy miss by any means. Safety was over the top of him. But there's not many guys I trust more in a one-on-one situation to give him a chance at the ball.
Well, he was open enough for it to kind of distract me and start looking at him instead of the quarterback. But Fry was not even looking in that direction, so well called.
Offsides against the Yellow Jackets.
And the Yellow Jackets, they're stinging themselves, Caleb. That'll bring up 2nd and 4, another offside.
And that's just smart football from Clay-Chalkville for the fact that, you weren't doing a lot of hard counts in the first quarter. You have them in rhythm already. You might not show it a lot on film. They're not thinking too much about it. On defense, they're trying to make plays. They're down. They're trying to get stops. And when they get a little bit too aggressive, you can take advantage of that.
Backfield. Now he's got the ball. He's trying. It could have been a face mask. He's trying to get left in and doesn't. I'll tell you one thing Oxford just did. They read a play. And they had 2 defenders out there. Of course, I think Barber draws a crowd anywhere. In the mall, getting in the classroom.
This is, it's, not to say it was an obvious thing, but you saw him coming out of the backfield. And when you see motion like that, motion that is a little bit more unique, that doesn't mean it's not setting something up for later on, but it's a play where they thought it was going to work, and Oxford was right on top of it from the get-go.
To the turf, about the 25-yard line. Wow, good stand by Oxford in spite of 2 offsides.
Yeah, it was, and that's one of those things where that is the difference in a 3-yard line and the 20-yard line. Sometimes you punt because you might give up a first down or 2. You might give up some yards, but now just like that, you're going to have field position. And remember, that missed extra point, missed 2-point conversion that Clay-Chalkville went for after their last touchdown, this is still a two-possession game.
That's a great point.
It feels a little out of hand right now, but this could turn around in a hurry for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, they ought to get a short field out of this. High, but not real deep punt. Uh-oh. Coulda hit an Oxford Yellow Jacket, but even if it did, they are going to down the ball at midfield. So it'll be 1st and 10 Oxford, and this is a perfect time for them to kind of, get their way back into the ball game. A score here would be huge.
It would be, and that's why you got a little bit of movement. You still punted earlier, and sometimes you think, why are they punting? They're on the plus side of the field. I know it was after a sack, 4th and 7. You think maybe take advantage of the situation, but they punted. They trusted their defense, and they are still in this game.
I can't tell. I believe that Jenkins, he's at a bad angle. I believe he's still in at quarterback. No. They put Mims in. He hands off left side. Probably 3 for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I'll be interested if we could find out if that was a change, a package that they wanted to run, a drive-by-drive thing, or just the fact that the offense wasn't clicking through 3 drives and they wanted to give Jenkins a little bit of a chance.
Maddox at the 48. He looks one way, throws back the other, trying to do a screen together, and almost ended up picked off. Chris Osborne has more information on the Yellow Jacket.
So the Oxford coaches said, you've got to quit shooting each other in the foot. What they mean by that is that last play, the ball actually touched one of their players, and they were lucky to get that ball back. So on this sideline, they are certainly encouraging them to keep playing great defense, but stop making silly mistakes. Back to you guys.
In the pocket, Mims on the run. Thank you, Chris. He may have first down yardage inside the Cougar 40, and they are moving the chain.
Maddox Mims won't run the ball a lot, but again, there's something to having football IQ to know when you can run, exactly how far you need to go. He started to slide there. Might be a flag at the college NFL level the way he was hit. Certainly not at the high school level. But he picked up 8 yards when he needed 7. It's a big scramble.
Inside the 40, the Cougars 40. Oxford like to get on the board here. Mims on the run, throws across his body. That is completed the 31-yard line. Making the catch was Jalen Taylor.
And they want to get him the ball. They want to get him involved.
Officials timeout here. Well, you want to see a really good example of a quarterback in control of his body. Just incredible that he can be going that way, throw across his body, and nail him right between the numbers. Well, in the case of Taylor, right in the number.
I think his coaches might want to see him dance a little less. He got out of that pocket probably a little more quickly than he would have liked to.
Mims, hands off on a sweep, and he might. We'll have to wait on the measurement of the first down. Right now, let's go to Scott Griffin.
Saw Deion Callens on that previous play. He had bottled up the receiver. The quarterback had to scramble, but then he let the receiver go. That's the only way Oxford's moving the ball, is with plays that are breaking down and they're improvising. What they're calling, if it goes through, Clay is stopping it right now.
Motion, that's Taylor. Inside handoff and going down at a loss of 4. Coming through was Jamario Hideo. Watch.
Boy, that's a perfect play to come after what Scott said from the sideline view. Something's got to break down defensively and offensively for Oxford to find some sort of success. That time they didn't even have time for a play to break down and go somewhere else. As soon as he handed the ball off, Clay-Chalkville's defensive front was there.
Yeah, one of the others is Keith Richmond. He's a defensive end. Jackets in motion. Mims steps up in the pocket. Now he throws. Got a man wide open inside the 20. Lost his footing, but he's down close to the 10-yard line, and a huge gain.
There is nothing I love more than a nice little wheel route coming out of the backfield. No one picked him up, and a good job from Mims to be able to understand where his receiver was. Again, a little bit of a busted play. Mims had to step up but he knew where his receiver was going to be, barely even looked over there before slinging it on target. Biggest play of the night for Oxford's offense.
Dre Williams on the wheel. First down. Play fake, any nice one, but no one was home.
I think that he just got hit as he threw that ball. Probably lucky to get rid of it before the defensive line got to his face.
16-0 Clay-Chalkville at home. Undefeated, #1 in the state. Oxford has yet to score, but they are bowing up right here. 3:32 remaining in the first half. Out of the gun, Maddox Mims. That's not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard. Up the middle. Keith Richmond makes yet another stop. That was Dre Williams for the Cougars.
I'm a little surprised that wasn't the first down play. You know, get a couple of yards, get a little close to the end zone. Don't put a ton of pressure on a big third down play. I do think you are still in 4-down territory. I don't know how much a field goal does for you right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a run play, maybe a quick pass out wide.
Man in motion, 3rd and goal at the 9. They're going to throw the man in motion. That's Taylor. Taylor cuts back in the 10, but then he is swarmed by blue jerseys. He'll get down to the 4-yard line. I thought, Caleb, if he'd have been able to kick his speed faster than able, he could have cornered it and just kind of angled it into the end zone.
Boy, we had the angle right here. It looked wide open when he made that first cut back. Good job from Clay-Chalkville's defense to close in on that. I'm a little surprised by this decision. We talked about it. It's a 2-possession game. I understand thinking you need to be on the board, but if, for a moral victory, but if you're talking about winning a football game, 4th and 2, I don't understand not going for this.
And it is good, so they are on the board. Oxford's put 3 up. Clay-Chalkville still has 16. Scott Griffin has more from the Clay-Chalkville sideline.
Matt and Caleb, the other deuce ain't so bad either. Xavier Starks, he's a college prospect, came up hard on that last play to stop the open receiver who got past his initial man. If he doesn't make that great open field tackle, that's a touchdown. So it's a difference in 4-point swing there. Starks, really a good save.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, he's another one I talked to the coaches about. They're, 5, 6, 7 D1 guys, or at least college. I know Fry's going to Alabama State, right?
Yeah, that's there's a lot of guys out here that we're talking about guys who might already be committed. Oxford has several of their own as well. But then you're not even thinking, the guys who are sophomores, juniors, that recruiting process barely even started for them. These two schools are used to sending guys to that FBS, FCS level. I think we're watching a lot of them tonight.
2:05 remaining. And here's the kick. Barber's deep, but he won't see it. I can just tell you that. But we have an offsides against Oxford. And again, like Chris was telling us earlier, stop shooting yourself in the foot. That is such and I don't mean to get too emotional. It's just such an unnecessary penalty.
It is, and that's something that, it doesn't feel like a big penalty on a kickoff because, you're not giving up a first down. You're just re-kicking. But that's 5 yards. And when you're doing these little pooch kicks, 5 yards makes a big difference because now instead of landing it at their 30, you're landing it at their 35. And that will add up eventually, especially when you're looking at 2 minutes left in this half. You don't want to give them any extra yards to make it easier to find the end zone before the clock runs out.
Well, and the other end, which you're alluding to as well, is, you just got a little bit of momentum. You got 3. What are you going to do? Go back 5 yards. So anyway, let's see what they do from here. Kind of a popcorn kick. It bounces on the turf and alertly gathered up by Clay-Chalkville at the 40-yard line. Wow.
Well, hey, if there's a benefit to having to re-kick it, the return teams probably think you're going to kick it the exact same way, and you maybe catch them off guard. Nearly a really bad bounce for the Cougars there, but as you said, smart play, just dive on top of that ball.
You a golfer, Caleb?
A little bit.
Can you check it up like that?
I cannot. No, that would have bounced, off the green. Would have bounced. I mean, I wouldn't have been that straight to begin with, probably. But I could roll it that far.
Cougars. Woods in motion. Fry will take the snap. He looks immediately our way. Throws back over the middle to Barber, who held on after being train wrecked. Watch the deuce here. Well, Cougars. He went down and got it, didn't he?
I think that looked a little worse than it was. Good replay there, slow motion. I think that was more shoulder pad.
Dart over the middle by Fry and another shot. Nasir Ray, the tight end. Now, was that a shot or not?
It was a little bit more clean, but yeah, definitely took a hit. Good job hanging on to that ball.
31-yard line. Fry back to pass. Steps up. He's got a lot of real estate. 25. He wants to cut to the near sideline. He's at the 20. Still carrying a couple of Yellow Jackets. Out of bounds at the 19-yard line. And first down yardage as you're getting a little chippy.
You can see how the great shot right there. Stuart Floyd reacting not to the Oxford player, not asking the ref for something. He immediately went to his own player, said, "Hey, stop. We don't need 15 yards setting us back right now. Stop talking. Get ready for the next play."
And there's only so far you can go down if you're not on the field of play. And I think that's supposed to include coaches, but most officials give them leeway.
Especially when you're a head coach.
Yeah. And you're right, and I'm all right with that. From the 20, 1st and 10, Clay-Chalkville. Fry fakes. Now he's going to loft into the end zone. The man is wide open. Touchdown, Cougars.
An eligible man downfield is going to be called. I'd love to see a replay of that. He was on top of it. That flag came out quickly. We can get a full field replay.
How did he get so wide open? Wide open is another question.
Well, I think the ineligible man downfield will show you that it wasn't any lineman. There must have been a wide receiver who was lined up, and once you're covered up, you have to act like a lineman. And if a wide receiver gets covered up, moves down the field, you are an eligible player downfield.
Nasser Ray's touchdown is going to be taken away. Scott's got another view. Scott Griffin.
Caleb hit it. They covered up number 8 over there. So to your point, it's an ineligible receiver when you cover him up. Just a formation flaw for Clay-Chalkville on that.
Well, now to back him up. It'll be 1st and 15, line of scrimmage, the Oxford 25-yard line. Fry throws, man open inside the 20. Johnson on the receiving end. And that could be 1st and goal. We'll see where the spot is. No, it's going to be outside the 10. You got to watch the clock at 36 and ticking.
Floyd called a timeout, but he is yelling for a face mask on the offensive lineman. There was a couple of guys from both teams going at it in the backfield after the pass. Floyd was asking for a face mask.
I'm not so sure.
He's still asking for it.
You know what a pullback is in basketball and football? He needed a pullback right there. By the way, for those that don't know, it's a coach or an assigned person. If the coach gets a little out of control, it's funny that you have to designate a person to pull the coach back before he gets flagged.
And he's still asking. He's talking to multiple officials now. Looks like he's talking to the ref from the far sideline, maybe asking about that ineligible man downfield penalty as well. Not very happy for a game that's gone really well for the Cougars, and they could really extend the lead right now.
Yeah, 36 seconds remaining, as you see on the Jeffco Ed TV scoreboard. Oxford just got on the board with a three-pointer moments ago. But evidently Clay-Chalkville did not take kindly to that. Short kick help.
Asking a lot from the Yellow Jackets defense. I mean, yeah, you're thinking clock, but this offense is so efficient. They're already inside the red zone. 2nd and short. I mean, this is, more or less 7 plays to find the end zone.
And they've been on the field the entire first half. Mm-hmm. Fry with Barber in motion. Fakes one way. Now he's going to go right back up the middle, and he gets inside the 5, dives forward towards the end zone to the 2.5-yard line. And there's a timeout called by the Cougars.
That's the play they blew up earlier when they brought Barber in motion. They gave it to him, and Oxford's defense blew that play up. That time Fry kept it, went straight up the middle, and now they have 4 plays to get 4 yards in 27 seconds to extend this lead.
You ready to go to McAdory in a week? That's where we're going to be next week's Jeffco Ed Game of the Week. Bessemer City is at McAdory, and you can watch it right here on Jeffco Ed TV.
Yeah, that'll be a big one. I know McAdory lost a thriller against Hueytown last week, which we believe at this point pretty much decided that region title for Hueytown. But McAdory can clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight. They're playing at Northridge, and if they do that, that game against Bessemer City next week will be for second in the region, which obviously that gets you a home playoff game. So that's going to be a big one next week, the Yellow Jackets and the Purple Tigers.
I gave him 3, knee down at the 4. First and goal, Cougars. There you see Jerry Hoodfield. Inside handoff and just slicing through and into the end zone is senior quarterback Aaron Fry to extend the lead to 22-3.
He has not needed to do much throwing the ball or airing the ball out. He's done a lot with his legs. Boy, I give so much credit. I know Scott's right now on the sideline, but early in the year, our first game here, he talked about how much Clay-Chalkville wanted to run the ball with Aaron Fry this year. And we saw it against Hueytown, and we're seeing it tonight against Oxford. He's a dual-threat guy more than he has ever been.
And there's the Bull to make it 23-3, 22 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. Good crowd on hand. You can hear them.
It's easy to get a good crowd going, and especially in a chippy game. Region title could be clinched tonight for the Cougars. You're number 1 in the state, nearly unanimous number 1. 3rd straight week that they're just 1 vote off of being the unanimous number 1. In my book, I would have them ahead of Saraland, but I understand that. There's a voter out there that thinks otherwise. I think
it's from the Mobile area.
It might be. I think it's usually how it goes. And no, I mean, that's the team you watch more. It's the team you know. So I've been a voter before. I understand that. It's just, I don't know. It seems like we're at another collision course for those two teams, yet another season where we're expecting maybe a Clay-Chalkville-Saraland state championship game.
Well, I know there are a lot of teams, a lot of parents, a lot of listeners, relatives that would not prefer that. But from a sheer football standpoint,
it's hard not to. I mean, you love Cinderella stories and you love runs, surprise runs and upsets. But, man, sometimes once you get to the Super 7, you're like, these were the 2 best teams all year long. That's just a special kind of game. But there's a lot of football to be played before we get there. We still got 7 more weeks before we're thinking about Protective Stadium.
Toro, the Bull, who now has a tackle to his credit, will kick off, and he's got a leg. All the way back inside the 5. Running vertically, horizontally, then vertically. Knocked down at the 10-yard line, and
17 seconds left.
Lady Oxford takes a snap and takes it to the house, takes it to the locker room.
It looks like there will be half the distance of the goal added to this, which, again, it's not going to change anything for the rest of this game. But you can tell just how much the stop at the goal line, forcing a field goal, and then coming down and scoring right away, this has changed the momentum of this game, even more so than when it was 16-0. The Cougars are in full control. You could tell their kickoff team sprinting down the field. Oxford kind of expected a pooch kick. No one was even blocking. So this is Oxford needs to get into the locker room and needs to reassess what's been going on in this game.
Yeah, it's those kind of unforced errors that are really catching up with
First and 10, Yellow Jackets.
Officials make notes. They get charted and turned in to the officials of the Alabama High School Athletic Association. In case you were wondering what they were jotting down, it's not an Uber order. Do you Uber?
Every now and again, when I need to. When I need to.
Do you order food?
Oh, I don't do food through Uber. No. I heard offsetting penalties, but it does go 5 yards against Oxford, who do not look like they're kneeling it.
No, it almost looks like they're going to run a play from scrimmage. I guess you just chunk it deep. You never know what's going to happen, I guess. No, they'll just simple handoff inside. That may have been to Dupree. And I believe we'll see this clock. See zeros.
I think you saw Stuart Floyd think about it, and he sure is. He's going to call a timeout. The way your defense is playing, why not? Force another snap at the goal line. You never know when something can go wrong. Boy, he was looking down at his defensive coordinator. They were trying to decide whether or not to take that final timeout. I kind of like it. Be aggressive. Force them. I mean, you just made them lose 3.5 yards. Force them to snap the ball again.
Well, as they sort this out, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back with more on Jeff Coed TV.
Step into the magic of the holiday season. On December 12th, join us at the historic Florentine for the Winter Wonderland Gala and Silent Auction. Enjoy an evening of live music, festive drinks, and delicious food, all while supporting the Jefferson County Schools Education Foundation. Reserve your tickets today by scanning the QR code on your screen or go to jeffcoed.com/gala. This event is for guests 21 and older.
There's a look at the Cougar sideline briefly. And now, second down at their own 2. They'll just run a quarterback sneak. I guess the Cougars were kind of hoping for a missed snap, or it didn't happen. I like the thought from Coach Floyd, though.
Smart play from Oxford, too, though.
Yeah, you always got to be thinking, you never know, 23-3 is not enough. Plus, you're averaging 48 in region play. We'll hear from Coach Stuart Floyd here in just a moment. As we go to halftime, we will also hear from both bands. But right now, Scott is with Stuart.
Big play by Xavier Starks down there on the goal line. It goes from 7-3 on the open field tackle.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Talk a little bit about your line of scrimmage. You seem to be winning that one pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with them, they got, good O-line, good D-line, got some really good players. And so, first quarter just kind of filling each other out and, got to make some adjustments in the run game really on both sides.
What are you not liking right now?
I don't know, maybe just the energy, overall energy. I wish our crowd would cheer more.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll try to get on them.
Please do. Please do.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Stuart Floyd, I've got an assignment. Get on the crowd and get them going here. This is a really good football team.
All right. Come on over. You're more than welcome. Hey, it's halftime, and it's the home team. Clay-Chalkville leading 23-3 over the visitors, the Oxford Yellow Jackets, and here is their marching band.
includes color guard, Caitlin Coe, dance line, Lily Grace Vernon, Majorette, Aaron McGraw, marching tips, Wes Wade and Ashley Copeland, assistant band directors, John Underwood, Anna Claire Miller, and Jacob McGraw, and band director, Brian Bradbury.
We are the Hidden Gems. I'm JoJo. I'm Erin. I'm Aaliyah. And we are the drum majors of the Clay-Chalkville High School Mighty Marching Band.
This year we'll be franchising Clay-Chalkville's 30th year with a 90s theme. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoy.
The award-winning Best in Class Style and Sound Band with 3 of the baddest female drum majors in the state of Alabama. Prepare yourself for a show that will take you back down memory lane. The band's under the direction of drum majors Erin Cooper, Joanna Nicholson, and Michaela Wildrum. Color guard captain Denasia Littleton, co-captain Janelle Williams, dance line captain Nisha Perry Nunn, co-captain Jada Hicks, majorette captain Kaylin Reed. Now, Cougar Nation, if you are feeling live on the east side, look here as the band performed in surround sound, the 1996 hit that was on the top 10 in every country. They Don't Care About Us by the king of pop, Michael Jackson.
Halftime show, marching band performing for us there. Chris Osborne has Coach Sam Adams on the sideline. Chris.
Yeah, well, we got to do a little better job on both sides of the ball of our guys just doing their job individually. We've seen a couple times where on defense we got our eyes in the wrong spot a little bit, and it's caused us to give up a couple plays. And then offensively, we haven't really distributed the ball exactly to where it's supposed to go all the time. Right? We're kind of looking at the wrong guy. We're making our decisions. Obviously the turnover on the good kickoff return was not great. So, we got to be a better version of us. Understanding we're playing against a really good team who's going to make plays, but we got to do our job to make our plays when they're presented.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach. All right, guys, so you heard it. Defense not bad, some things to clean up, and he's going to try to get back in this one down 20. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Chris. We do have a couple minutes before the second half begins. We've tracked down some halftime scores as region play starts winding down here across Jefferson County. Some big games. One big game from last night happened, and that is the Minor Jackson Olin game See that on the right side of the screen. That game was last night. Minor dropped their 4th straight. Jackson Olin won 46-40. That's Minor's 4th straight loss. That loss opens the door for Mortimer Joran. We saw Mortimer Joran beat Minor just a couple of weeks ago. Now Mortimer Joran, who's off this week, can clinch a playoff spot next week against Jackson Olin. That would be big for the Blue Devils. Other games that we have, Pinson Valley, Pell City, that is a big one. Pinson Valley, possibility of clinching a playoff spot as well. That game is tied 14-all at Pell City. Corner fell behind early to John Carroll 7-0. They've rattled up 42 straight points. They're up 42-7 at halftime. Leads up 14-7 at Centerpoint. ACA and Oak Grove, I know we saw a really good Oak Grove team last week, beat Bibb County. ACA is all over them tonight, leading 35-14 at halftime. Oak Grove was in the driver's seat of that region. That could change if that result holds up. Fultondale up on Cordova, 14-6. Fultondale might be playing their way into a playoff spot. They can clinch tonight with a win and a Dora loss at Curry. Or if they win tonight and then beat Curry next week, they can clinch a playoff spot. So they are in the driver's seat of that one. Hueytown up 35-7 at Brookwood. And McAdory up 17-0 at Paul Bryant. We're still trying to track down that Pleasant Grove West Blockton score. I know that's a big one for region implications, a playoff spot on the line. Spartans not used to missing the playoffs, so they are certainly hoping for a win tonight. Big games, that's just what happens. You get into October, every game just seems to mean a little bit more. You're starting to see the region implications, who's going to make the playoffs, and just like here tonight, Clay-Chalkville trying to clinch a region.
Yeah, this means a lot. They can clinch the region, and then meanwhile on the other side, if Oxford can battle back from this 20-point deficit, they can tie Clay for the lead.
Clay-Chalkville 27-1 in region play over the last 5 seasons. That only loss, Oxford last year.
Oxford went 13-1 before being ousted in the playoffs. What do you think that we heard from Sam Adams? What do you think Oxford's got to do to get back in this thing? I would start with the one mild observation is you can't jump offsides and you can't be offsides on kickoff.
Yeah, that's the obvious ones to point to, clean up, but that's not why they're down 20 points in this game. I think what's interesting that I heard is he talked about not having the right reads at the line of scrimmage, not getting the ball to the right guys. And I'm wondering if that was the case why he decided to make that quarterback change for one series when he went to Caleb Jenkins instead of Maddox Mims. Now I expect Maddox Mims to come out and be the quarterback to start the second half as Oxford's going to get the ball. But they need to score. I mean, they don't need to be desperate. They don't need to be going no huddle. They don't need to be doing anything like that. But you need to score points. You got to have a sense of urgency. And if you get a good drive to start the second half, set the tone, get right back in this. That's what you're looking for if you're Sam Adams.
There you see Del Toro, nicknamed the Bull for obvious reasons, has teed the ball up right between the hash marks at the 40-yard line, and we're about to get the third quarter play underway from Jerry Hood Field, Cougar Stadium. The boot towards the far boundary, fielded at the 30, the 35-yard line, and slung down about the 38-yard line where the Yellow Jackets will have it 1st and 10.
Saw him have 2 arms wrapped around that ball. Might have slowed him down a little bit, but you could tell that they know that turnover on the kickoff return earlier in this game was a big play.
Thank you for joining us here on Jeffco Ed TV. We do this every Friday night, and who knows, we may surprise you. Earlier game, perhaps next week. They set up the short screen, and wow, blue jerseys everywhere as the Cougars read that perfectly, and one of the people in to make that stop was Smith again. Scott's on the far sideline, near sideline.
There's the skull and crossbones, guys. They're little decals, defense only. I love it, being an ex-secondary guy. That's the decals when you make big defensive plays. Back to you.
There's Williamson. He found a little seam at the 40 and cut through, dove across the 35-yard line. Still going to be about a yard short.
And on that first down screenplay, it felt like they had it set up nicely. Mims took a little bit too long to get rid of the ball. And then there, you want to follow your blockers, but at a certain point, hey, you got to find some open space. And he almost followed his blockers a little bit too much. Ran into a wall, but a good pickup on second down.
Mims fakes, cuts. He got the first down. Maddox Mims, the sophomore, picks up just enough for the first down. And I imagine Sam Adams would like to just see him grind it out. Get it back to a 2-score game. Get it back to a 1-score game. Cougars, meanwhile, would like to stop all that. Just outside, inside the 50. Inside handoff. He gets into Cougar territory, but he's punished for it.
Williams, the ball carrier.
Just inside the 50. It'll be second down and 8.
I said Oxford doesn't need to be desperate. I mean, they don't need to be like changing how they're calling plays. But this is a dangerous point for them if they give the ball back to this Clay-Chalkville offense.
Mims fakes to Dre, throws out of bounds. Incomplete.
Well, I think he had Jalen Taylor on the outside, and I think if he throws that ball up, he probably gets a defensive pass interference or a holding call as the defender was all over Taylor. But he was kind of almost too hesitant to throw the ball. Now you're at another 3rd and long.
Yeah, they need 8. Need to get almost to the Cougars' 40-yard line. Williams is the lone setback, and there you see Mims. Williams shifts to his other hip and wants to throw. He steps up, man from behind. Can he catch it? Can he stop him from the first down? Mims is going to be about a yard short. Is this 4-down territory?
I think earlier you were in this spot and you punted, and it turned out to be the right decision. But I think it's a different situation, a little bit shorter. I think you might, at the very least, run up there and try to draw them off sides, because a delay game isn't the end of the world here. You're not going to use one of your timeouts, but I'll be surprised to see a hard count.
No, it's more than one. It's 1.5, close to 2. Williams, big enough hole. Knife through on the far hash mark. First down for the Yellow Jackets.
Host to Cougar defenders bringing down the Oxford ball carrier. Nonetheless, it'll be a first down.
2 for 2 now on 4th downs. They've only converted 1 3rd down, but they have 2 4th down conversions so far.
That's an interesting stat. So Oxford now inside the Cougars' 40-yard line, the 49. 1st and 10, 9:07 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. He'll loft it out on the catch. That's Williams, and he'll get some sizable yardage along the far boundary. Finally being pushed out of bounds by Quentin Lowe.
Now Williams has shown his ability to use his hands out of the backfield a little bit tonight. That's his 3rd catch already.
Dupree started the game at tailback.
He did. He got the first 2 carries, I believe.
So, been Williams since. 4 wide out. They're going to hand to Taylor. Taylor makes one man miss. A second. He's inside the 30 and out of bounds 28-yard line.
Taylor goes out of bounds.
Are they going to move the stakes? I don't think so. Maybe about a yard short.
3rd and 1 for the Yellow
Head
Jackets.
coach Stuart Floyd.
They are.
Matter of fact, Guy, you ever heard a coach say, hey, well, I need my fans. I need my fans in this.
Boy, we were trying to give him some credit. And I mean, I get it. You know, this is a big game. You're number 1 team in the country. I get it from both sides, or in the state. You get it from both sides. Fans are also like, you know, it's a little bit of the.
Just a little loft to the man in motion, and that was Dre Williams. And a clever play will pick up a first down for the Yellow Jackets.
It's a little bit of fans are like, hey, you're up 20. You know, what else do you need? We're used to winning. You know, that was an argument during the Saban era at Alabama. Fans leaving early, not showing up, not having enough energy. But, you know, you get used to winning. That is a thing. That happens.
And it's not the first time it's been brought up, probably here at Clay, but certainly not at the University of Alabama. It's their third Saturday in October. Launching deep, Maddox Mims. Caught. It is caught over 2 Cougars and into the end zone for Yellow Jackets touchdown. That's Andre Ford, the junior. Watch it again, Caleb.
Boy, great job from Maddox Mims first off to stay in the pocket there. He just went up over 2 defenders and his own teammate to catch that ball. But you could tell when that ball left Mims' hand that he was tracking it the whole way. Great throw, incredible catch, and a much-needed score for Oxford. Their best drive by far of the night and their biggest play on offense. They're right back in this game.
Good hole. It's going to cause it to go off to the left. You remember me telling you in pregame that I was watching both these quarters loosen up, the quarterbacks were loosening? That's the exact same pass. I saw him throw darts 4 or 5 times in a row, and he just did it for all of our viewing pleasure.
Yeah, they might have bailed him out a little bit. Throw a ball where 2 receivers are, right? You don't like to do that too much.
Ford had a little bit to do with
but
that as well.
You're right. He gave him a chance, and he made the catch.
That's a great play. Chris Osborne is on the Oxford sideline.
So, guys, right here on the sideline, that was about as perfectly thrown 50-50 ball as you could. It was launched. I probably could have caught that one back in my heyday, but certainly thrown into double coverage, and the best player caught that ball and scored. And so Oxford just a little bit light, hopefully a way for them to get back in this ball game. 23-9. Clay in control, but a bright spot for Oxford. Back to you guys.
Nicely done, Chris. I probably could have tried to defend it.
Yeah, you're giving yourself a lot of credit there, Chris. Catching your head. That's a tough catch for Mr. A.J. Ford. That's at the.
I could have let Ford jump over me.
Oh, I could have done that. I could have done that.
Anyway, big score for Oxford. They'll put it off. The Cougars would probably like to answer with a score. That's fielded at the 30, near sideline, knocked out of bounds. Had he been able to, flags.
I think, I'm surprised that the refs a little closer did not throw it.
This one came from 15 yards back.
And I understand the frustration on that side. I think this will go on Clay-Chalkville. The Clay-Chalkville player was continuing to block well after the whistle, well after the play.
Yeah, there's a couple of unhappy Cougars and really more unhappy coaches.
No, man.
The explanation. And by the way, the fans to our left don't like it.
I think that's. I don't know. I understand when offsetting penalties happen, and I understand the reason for them. But it feels a little bit like a bailout. If you see something happening and you don't know what's happening, you throw the flag, call offsetting, and be done with it. But I don't know a lot. I know we're Jeff Coed broadcast here too, but I don't know a lot that the Oxford player could have done differently in that situation.
Back to pass. Fry throws far sideline. Barber trying to make a big gain out of it. Instead, he'll get 6, which is nice for Clay-Chalkville. Corey Barber. Look for him Saturdays next year. Lane Kiffin to be using him. There's an inside handoff. That's Woods. He is twisted to the ground right close to midfield.
Certainly more hurry up, something we saw in the first quarter from Clay-Chalkville, not so much on their 2 drives in the second quarter.
Got to give a tip of the helmet to the guys up front for Clay-Chalkville. You got Kristen Bennett, Shamar Smith over the ball, headed to Clay College. Jaden Jones, and you got James Felder and Tavares Powell. That's tackle to tackle, man in motion. The handoff instead goes to Woods. Josh Woods trying to get to midfield, trying to get the first down, which is right at the 50-yard line. And we've got a helmet off, 2 flags, maybe more, closer to the Oxford sideline. At this point, if I may jump in, officials need to come to each sideline. Do you think?
I think that was the point of the offsetting flag on the kickoff.
It didn't work.
I'm interested to see if this goes offsetting or if this is after the play or if they call it a hands to the face during the play. Either way, a huge stop from Oxford defensively. I think that was about to be 4th down, but I think 15 yards is going to end up giving it to Clay-Chalkville. And again, going to move deep into Oxford territory.
Got to calm the rowdiness. Hey, there are the cheerleaders. A good look. They're wearing their pink. I love that. There's Rod Smith. Uh-oh, they're going to offset him again?
They are going to offset him.
Fans are not fond of that, and I don't think my partner is.
I think they got both of them wrong. The last two, I think Clay-Chalkville should have been flagged on the kickoff, and I think Oxford should have been flagged on that play. And so when that happens, obviously I don't think you can be too upset if you're either fan base. I think you probably got yourself 15 yards either way. But that is, you can tell Stuart Floyd has been animated on the sideline tonight.
Let's see what Scott Griffin has.
To me, it's a pet peeve of mine, right? Offsetting penalties, it does nothing. And in this case, we've had 2 in a row in the last, 3 or 4 plays, and neither team is suffering consequences. Somebody had to do something first, and the official has to see it. I can't stand the offsetting penalty deal. I think it's wrong because, again, this will continue. They won't get a hold on this game until somebody's suffering consequences yardage-wise.
Well, you got a foul on the sideline there, Caleb.
I kind of thought we might be agreeing on that one. And now I think there's a conversation about the fact that no one kept the spot after that 3rd down run.
So are they just
and they are replaying, which if I'm Oxford, I think I'm upset about.
Well, did the whistles occur after the play?
He raised his arm as an after the play penalty.
Okay.
But they're replaying 3rd down.
Somebody forgot something rather important.
Down is going to be replayed.
Which
It is 3rd and 1.
Well, I understand. Listen, officials are doing the best they can. They're short staffed at HSA. I understand all of that. But it has not been the best start to the second half for them.
Cougs need one. They're not going to get it. Yes, they are. It is a fake. Fry, fake me, and he's still on his feet inside the 40. We see a flag on the backside. Fry is going to be dragged down from behind inside the 20.
There is a flag on the field.
I think that'll come back for a block in the back. What'll be interesting is if this is a spot foul.
The fans here.
And the Clay-Chalkville sideline seems to think this is going against Oxford.
Well, they're not moving back. Now the officials are discussing it. It came well behind the play.
It did. It happened right around the time that people thought that Fry was down.
Wow. That is not what I expected based on the point of the flag, where the flag landed. It was 15 yards behind the play. Ball carrier well in front of the official that threw it. Could have been that egregious. I didn't see it. That didn't mean it happened.
I think that's something Clay-Chalkville, I've seen Stuart Floyd asking for a face mask away from the play on his linemen and on his blockers. I think he finally got the call there. Don't take anything away from Aaron Fry, though. That was a terrific run, especially after the fake handoff that
nearly. Not a bad fake either. Yeah. He's gotten me twice. All right. Woods is to the right of Fry. Fry keeps right side, then bounces back to the left side. He's going to get inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, it's kind of funny. You're seeing, you can hear Clay-Chalkville's fans right now. That was their guys who were blocking after the play, and the fans on this sideline are yelling at them, telling them to stop because they don't want to have any more of these 15-yard penalties.
Sam Adams, he wanted them to get more active. I mean, Stuart Boyd did. So, and they are. But I don't think this is the way, the manner in which he expected it. Second to go from the 5. Man in motion, that's Joshua Woods. Now Barber shifts to top of your screen, and now the whistle's blown. I think this is a timeout. Clay-Chalkville.
I think Floyd wanted to see them how they responded to putting the running back in motion out wide. They followed him that time, forced the timeout.
That's a good timeout for us. Let's take a break on Jeff Coed TV. Clay-Chalkville's up on Oxford, 23-9.
Mockingbird baseball timeout.
Certainly we need more drivers, but we need folks more than that who want to make a difference.
It's the best job in the world. Bus drivers are doing a tremendous job in receiving kids each day with a smile, sending them home each day with a smile, making a difference in their lives.
Most bus drivers are there to invest in the children as well as to gain an investment for themselves. We're excited that you're interested in being a bus driver trainer. The potential is great about changing lives.
All right, the Cougars in dark blue with the white numerals. Trotting back to the field on offense here on Jeff Coed TV. Oxford with their backs against the wall here. They're in white with a nice gold and black trim. But it is second down and goal.
Second and goal to go.
Clay-Chalkville leading by 14. Two backs, now Woods in motion. That's Barber to his right. Look out for 2 and 1. They give it to Barber. Trying to run left in. He is upended and may lose a yard. Marcus Lawler read it and flipped him.
Barber has 7 catches in this game, but nothing more than 11 yards. They're trying to get him involved in different ways. Second time he's taken a handoff, and second time he's been tackled for a loss after taking a handoff. They want to get him involved. Oxford has done a good job locking in, which I think has opened the door for Aaron Fry to run as much as he has tonight.
Yeah, their corners, Christian McNeil and Jalen Robinson, have played well on 2. Fry wants to throw, off. Now he thought about throwing again. Now he is going to tiptoe into the end zone for an apparent Cougar touchdown. But once again, we've got a flag. There's the touchdown, but it is not going to count. That already indicated his holding against Clay-Chalkville.
That was, I think that was an obvious one. The ref threw it right away. Even the offensive lineman, he saw the flag throw and he kind of just put his head down, like, yeah,
you got it?
Yeah, that happened.
What a break for Oxford. Well, you got a better look. I was focused on the corner of the end zone.
Well,
was it a necessary hold?
No, that is what happened because Fry was already escaping out to the left and the hold was happening behind him. I don't think Fry was going to be chased down from behind. No. He couldn't get chased down from someone in front of him, so it's a big penalty.
He takes the snap. He's got 5 receivers in the pattern. There's a fake, a little shake and bake, and inside the 10. Good catch by Jakari Johnson. And they get about half of it back to the 10, where it will be 4th and goal, and I imagine that we're going to see the bull.
Yeah, and this is a big one because, again, that missed extra point by Oxford on the last possession. A field goal can extend this to 3 possessions. Still a big stop for Oxford to be able to force a field goal.
Yeah. Could have been 7, now could be 3, maybe 0. Joseph Del Toro. The field goal. Oh, yeah. He has a nice motion, nice play. He looks like a kicker, and by the way, he is a kicker. He's already got a couple of field goals. So that gives Clay-Chalkville a 26-9 lead with 4:07 remaining here in the third quarter. Hey, you want to be back with us on Jeff Coed TV? I hope so. The middle school, and this is what Jefferson County does. They're passing it around to all sports at all levels. Middle school football championship, McAdory is at Fultondale, and we will be there Wednesday night on Jeff Coed TV. The game will start at 6 o'clock. Here's Scott Griffin.
Hey, Del Toro, how much has he improved? Caleb remembers him from 2 years ago when he really struggled just to be a competitive kicker. Now, to your point, Matt, he gets the ball up in the air. It's exploding off his foot. Alabama State coaches are trying to talk Alabama State into giving this kid a scholarship. I say they should. He could follow his teammate Fry there.
Yeah, go play for the Hornets. In-state, maybe 2 hours away.
I mean, he's got a leg. He clearly has plenty of extra yardage after these short kicks. He hasn't really gotten to shown it off too much.
But he's not proud of that. He wanted to make a tackle. Oh, fumbled on the far sideline, and they just dropped on it at the 22-yard line, 23-yard line.
I think Oxford coaching staff, they might have a good point here.
Did he go out of bounds?
I think he was standing out of bounds when he tried to catch it, which means he was standing out of bounds when he touched it, which means that should be a flag.
Yep.
I think they're trying to discuss that right now. You can see Coach Adams trying to ask about it.
As is Coach Floyd, did you see?
I'm not sure Oxford's going to win this argument. We still haven't seen a flag come out.
Now Oxford wants a timeout. That's an interesting call.
I mean, don't get me wrong, especially on your own sideline, you should be communicating. You have two guys about to run into each other for one to catch the ball. But if both of them get out of the way, that ball sails out of bounds.
Yeah.
But I do think they have a case. If that is, in fact, what they're asking for, is that he was out of bounds when he first touched the ball, which means it would be a kickoff out of bounds. But that ball is marked at the 22-yard line, and I don't think that's going to change.
Doesn't look like it. Well, they're still over the ball now. White and blue are coming back out on the field. Look at the Cougars band. They were excellent. Love the fact that they were all wearing pink plumes. As you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
This conversation is going on a long time on Oxford sideline. I mean, I think you got to give credit to the officials to give him an explanation. But I'm not sure any explanation is going to satisfy Coach Adams right now, especially after what's happened over the past few minutes in this game. I mean, Oxford had a little bit of momentum, and I'm not saying flags is the reason Clay-Chalkville got points on the board, but it slows the game down, and it changes your momentum, and it changes what Oxford felt like they were kind of cutting into that lead. And you see, we saw 5-6 flags on the last drive between the kickoff, and then when you want to see a flag, it doesn't come out. And so I think I understand the frustrations. It's tough for them to bounce back from that mentally.
You remember back in the first half, Chris Osborne very astutely pointed out Sam Adams won a little bit of an argument because he felt like they were getting all the false starts. So maybe he's gone to the judge again over there. And he won't get this call. Maybe he'll get the next one, and that's usually why coaches get on officials anyway. Snap, Mims, keeps, might have gotten a couple to the 25.
I know it doesn't change, I mean, your offense, your play call, you still need to go down and score, but if that gets called a kick out of bounds, that's a 20-yard difference from where you're starting your drive, and he might regret taking that timeout. He might want it back later in this game if they can get closer, but he wanted an explanation, and he was willing to take a timeout to get it.
2nd down and 8 for the Yellow Jackets. Mims out of the pocket, has time, throws, overthrows. He was looking for just Jalen Taylor at about the 30, 32-yard line, so it is going to be 3rd down and 8. And with 3:24 left in the third quarter, 3 scores down, this is a pretty critical play.
Yeah, this is a big 3rd down. I don't think they go for it if it's not 4th down territory or anything, but this is a big play, and we've talked about how they've struggled on 3rd down. I will say that's Maddox Mims. That's only his 2nd incompletion tonight, and they've both been throwaways, so he's been connecting with his receivers.
He wants to throw to the sideline. That is caught the 40 and out of bounds just shy of midfield, and we got roughing the passer on the other end.
That's actually well after the play. Absolutely. It's not holding. It came out after the play. We hear it all the time. And you can see Stuart Floyd about to lay into the defender who did it. Shoved an offensive lineman down after the play was well gone. That's going to be an extra 15 yards for Oxford.
Yeah, we'll see the call here.
Personal foul against the Cougars.
And if there was anyone in the crowd who saw it, it was an obvious call. I understand people look back and they see a flag, they expect it to be a holding, but no. If you saw it, that was an obvious one.
Well, you and I both saw it. So a big play, plus 15, gets the Yellow Jackets inside the 40 to 38-yard line. They are in Clay-Chalkville territory, which they didn't spend a lot of time in the first half. Oh, great pass over the middle. Williams at the 25, down to the 20-yard line. Little stutter step action to get him a first down for Oxford.
That's exactly the screen that we saw earlier. That's the kind of play that was set up exactly the same way. Mims was able to get that ball out of his hands a little bit quicker, and that made the difference. And the defense being right on top of the running back when he caught it and giving him 20 yards to work with.
Sophomore Maddox Sims, jersey number 13, has the ball. He gives to Williams. Williams has the ball slapped out of his hand. It is picked up by Taylor, and Taylor might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Crazy.
Boy, that is very fortunate for Oxford. Very slow-moving reverse. Williams had no idea there was a player, a Clay-Chalkville defender behind him ready to force that fumble. And honestly, if he had waited a half second, he could have kind of intercepted a little reverse pitch.
Yeah.
Big play, heads-up play by Taylor. Usually want to fall on it, but that's a 6-7 yard difference. And being able to scoop that ball up with time, be able to make up some yardage.
They'll mark the ball now at the Cougar 20-yard line. It is 2nd and 7. Mims fakes to Williams. Lost into the end zone, just short of the end zone, and then stretching into the end zone. Touchdown Oxford. That's Jalen Taylor, the senior wide receiver. But check that. That makes 2 for 4.
Boy, a little pump fake from Mims, and he stood in there, took a hit. See, almost was like he put too much air underneath it, but floated it just enough. Ford had enough time, and great job of powering through that tackler. Huge response from Oxford as they have come out firing on offense in this second half.
Extra point attempt. Last time was wide left. This time he splits the uprights, and we still have a ball game here in Clay-Chalkville. Both these teams have won 4 state championships. Great heritage. And another score now. It's a 2-possession game.
And that's why Stuart Floyd probably is the head coach and I'm not, because I'm down here like, why are we kicking field goals? You know, every point matters, and that's the difference in this being a 7-point game and a 10-point game right now. But especially with the way Oxford's offense is moving the ball, I think you got to feel like Clay-Chalkville still needs to put up points in this game. I'm not sure 26 is going to be enough to win it.
Rolling into this game and talking to fans and, talking to you and Scott, you kind of had the feeling the way Clay-Chalkville has been playing, they might just stretch it out a little bit. But this is a feisty group of Yellow Jackets coming just down the interstate, and it's a Region 6A game. Playoffs and winning the region are in the balance.
Well,
so in retrospect, I'm not surprised we're having a gritty football.
Yeah, this is a team that, won a region title, made a semifinal appearance last year. They're not used to losing.
There's a good kickoff coming our way. They kicked it to Barber. Are they going to pay for it? He gets close to the 30-yard line. That's really good coverage by Oxford.
Well, Oxford's season has been a little up and down. I mean, their losses, they won out-of-state loss, right? But they had a 28-point loss to Mountain Brook, a 24-point loss to Moody. And then their wins, 1-point win over Pinson Valley, 5-point win over Pell City. Like, it feels like they're a team that would be right there on the border of making the playoffs. And here they are being the only team in 6A to give Clay-Chalkville a game.
We've got 13:40 left, the last moment of the third quarter. Pass out of the flat, breaking tackles along the sideline. That's Woods, the running back, out of the backfield, and he gets close to 20 yards, a lot of it after contact.
Yeah, you can see him keep his balance right there. Just be able to use that stiff arm, keep your feet underneath you. You talk about powering through contact, but it's also about balance. He's got that low center of gravity.
Quick pass out on flat. That's Barber. The 45, the 50. Barber's on the run and out of bounds at the Oxford 35-yard line. Is that his longest catch from scrimmage?
Johnson had the reception.
Now
might be coming back,
Johnson
though.
on the receiving. Kari Johnson is all going to call back. Be called back.
And sometimes when you have the swing pass, you're going quick and you're asking your receivers to block. You can have good blocking from your receivers, but they're also going to be more likely to hold than your offensive linemen who know to stay between the numbers.
That was the other senior wide receiver, number 8, Kari Johnson. Boy, that hurt the Cougars now.
I do think that is a 10 yards was a spot foul, and they called it downfield. So it's really just going to end up being a 1-yard penalty. We're going to have one of those weird 1st and 11s, but still, that's a 20, 25-yard difference from where the play ended up.
Yeah, that's right. If you count the gain yardage by Johnson. So it's back on the other side of midfield at the 41-yard line. Motion for the Cougars. Fake to Woods, swing it out. Near midfield, Cougar on the run, the 40-yard line. There's a first down. Catch number 3 here, not bad. But first, line of scrimmage. Woods might have gotten half a yard.
No gain on the play. It's not a yard.
Another flag comes in, multiple flags coming in from the back. And and you're hearing it from Clay-Chalkville's crowd. They saw it. They saw it was their own player, and they're yelling at their own guys to get your kind of head in the game right now.
You know, quite honestly, Cougars and Yellow Jackets, you're past the halfway point of the season. You know, you got to cool the Jets and win the game.
Yeah, you do, and it's not just the what's on the line. It's the play with emotion, but don't play emotional, right? That's what you hear from coaches all the time, and so far tonight and to the third quarter even, they're playing emotional.
Stand by. We'll go to Scott Griffin on the sideline in just a minute. 47 seconds left here in the third quarter. Clay-Chalkville has the football and a 10-point lead. 1st and 25.
I think Oxford right now is asking if that was the second personal foul against a Clay-Chalkville player. I think that's what this discussion is.
Well, and we'll see. Linesman goes over to the coach. Now, the referee, the white hat.
And again, you want to see them get the calls correct. And I think at the end of the day, that is the main, that's what you want to see more than anything else. I understand the frustration, the time it takes. I mean, I know that's in general with sports, replay and reviews and all that takes forever. This is about first down marker, and they're giving them a 1st and 10 instead of a 1st and 25. Oh, man.
Who was the penalty on? Wait a minute, Scott, can you help us out here?
Nasir Ray was the offended. He stood over a guy. He jacked him pretty good, but stood over him way after the whistle.
Quick pass. Aaron Fry throws. That is complete for a Cougars touchdown. You want to check the field flag for me, or can we get Scott to do it?
Well, go right back to Nasir Ray, who made the mistake of getting 15 yards. And, hey, I understand. Again, you're looking at Oxford and you're saying, I'm frustrated by flags and all these things that are happening in the calls. But the flag isn't what made that 54-yard touchdown happen. If whether it was 1st and 10, 1st and 25, or 1st and 50, that was still going to be a touchdown. And you got to be able to defend better on that. And, again, you might see both teams losing their heads a little bit, but right now, Clay-Chalkville bounces back a little bit quicker than Oxford does.
Well, this time he doesn't put much air on it, but the bull drills it anyway. So, Ray, that was just a beautifully executed play. And you know, there was so much chaos at the time, not knowing 1st and 10 or 1st and 25 or where the ball was, and suddenly they finally get the line of scrimmage and run a beautiful play. Fry hit him between the 1 and the 7, and Ray was out. He was wide open.
Yeah, I think that's something that you see next-level high school quarterbacks doing that seems simple, but not every high school quarterback can do it, and that's Fry looking to his left originally. Oxford only had one safety. He started shifting to the side of the field that Ray wasn't on. Fry look off a safety, know that Ray was going to run a fly on the other side, turn and have a guy in his face and still be able to complete the pass, knowing how open he was going to be. Again, seems simple, but when a high school quarterback does it, that's the result.
33-16. 32 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
But this third quarter is a little bit more what we expected to see early on, but both offenses really clicking.
It also took an hour and a half. And we're not done. I shouldn't have said that. High, deep kick. They're going to let it bounce and into the end zone, and rightly so. He kicked that ball all the way inside the 5-yard line.
That's very confident with the way that ball was flying. That could have just easily been a disaster for Oxford. That ball hit at the two-yard line. Could have bounced back, could have not bounced as far, could have died. Bounced into the end zone. Fortunate for the Yellow Jackets.
So, Yellow Jackets, who scored on their last possession, will have the football at the 20. And out come the Yellow Jackets. Williams will remain in as the lone setback. Ford is at the bottom of your screen, now out of your screen. And there's Mims with a man in motion. He fakes kind of to both of them. Now he's rolling. He'll dump it out of the flat. He makes the catch for no gain.
Yeah, it's one of those you can't tell him not to catch it, right?
Wow. There's a complete pass for -5 yards. Not something you see every day. You look at the bottom right of your screen. All zeros as we have played 3 quarters here at Clay-Chalkville. And Clay-Chalkville, homestanding, undefeated, #1 in the state, is leading a scrappy team from Oxford. It's 33-16. As we will lower
Statute 124 prepares for the retiring of the colors.
Clay-Chalkville marching band as we begin the final 12 minutes here at Jerry Hood Field. Every time Oxford gets it within maybe a score, now here within 2 scores, and now, man, Clay-Chalkville just comes back and punches them in the gut.
Yeah, and it's Oxford seems to be making plays defensively, but it's the mistakes that show up more, and whether it's the flags, a missed assignment, you know, they're getting these short yards, they're making tackles for a loss, they're preventing big, you know, consistent play from Clay-Chalkville's offense and so far in the second half. but it's the big plays that have been the difference. I mean, Oxford outscored Clay-Chalkville in the third quarter. Didn't feel like it. I mean, Clay-Chalkville still has all the momentum.
I thought it was pretty good. Outside of the penalties, I thought it was a good third quarter play. Let's go to Chris Ott.
Hey guys, I'm on the sideline with some very exciting news. Got the cheerleader squad here. Tell me your name.
Jerica Van, Coach Angel.
All right, so tell me about this huge accomplishment for these ladies in pink.
So we competed yesterday in the Alabama high school cheerleading competition, and for the first time in school history, we're headed to state at the beginning of November, so we're super excited.
All right, well, good luck to you all, and make some noise!
Thank you, Chris. First down play incomplete, as you could see, as Mims was a second down play. Mims was trying to toss it out into the flat to Williams, just didn't work.
I think we saw a Clay-Chalkville defender tackle him behind the line of scrimmage, but again, no defensive pass interference when it's behind the line of scrimmage. That's why you didn't see too many complaints from the Oxford sideline.
Mims just lost, and it is picked off far sideline. That is J.T. Taylor. Uh-oh, now we've got a fumble. Coming back the other way is Oxford. Oh, what a block. There's a flag at the other end. Meanwhile, at our end, Ford goes back with it. Did he have 3 touchdowns?
Here's the thing. I think he again, I don't want to harp on the officiating. I know they have a difficult job, but you had 6 refs out there, and I think there were 5 different calls that were being made. That ball was out on the goal line. After the interception, Oxford stripped the ball and was running it back the other direction. They should not call that down. That should be an inadvertent whistle, and they should give Oxford the ball where he had the ball as a first down there when the whistle was blown. But then you still had 2 refs who thought the play was live, called a blindside block. The correct call, a big block, but it was a blindside block.
Well,
they're still discussing this. I'm not sure. You hear the PA and the crowd, but I'm not sure that is what's happening.
Yeah, you're right. The officials are grouped right at the 10-yard line. And Oxford offense is still on the field.
From what I saw and what I heard, it should have been an interception, a fumble, and an inadvertent whistle, and it should be Oxford's ball.
The crowd disagrees.
I would say so too, and I think the official, they're leaning with the official who was closest to the goal line.
Here we go.
If you see this play, I mean, easy interception, thrown off his back foot, comes up. This ball.
Yeah, it's just a bunch
Yeah,
of
you can't
blue
see
and
when
white.
the ball comes out, but you did see Ford running with the ball well before the whistle.
So, the pick stands.
From that replay, it looked like he was possibly out of bounds.
Yep,
before
that's the only thing I
the strip. There was no whistle at that point when he stepped out of bounds. You don't want, and I think Clay-Chalkville has played well enough where that's not going to be the story of the game. But I will say officials have played too big of a role than you would like to see in a high school football game.
It looked like Fry on the keeper. It was 1st and goal. We've got a flag. There's a big surprise.
And they did call a touchdown. The FAR official called a touchdown after the flag came out.
Well,
which
I
means
guess the third quarter is just going to continue into the fourth quarter as far as the stoppage in play and the penalties and the chippiness.
You can just leave that camera. You can just leave the camera on there right there.
There's your MVP right there.
It'll be fine. We could talk about what's going on. We could talk about, I'm going to track down some other scores. Hoover Thompson's happening somewhere, you know.
I think I just heard Homewood was leading Parker. Big game.
Now they have to figure this out, whether who the flag is on, but when it happened. Because if a touchdown occurred, was it after the play?
All right, we know what Clay-Chalkville wants.
Chris Osborne has more.
So the touchdown is good.
So, guys, it's getting a little chippy down here. I think it was quite wise of the refs to take a little break, get this thing sorted out. Personal foul flag that was thrown right here because of some language that number 27 on Oxford's team said. So definitely black and white want to get control of this because you don't want to have that kind of ball game going on. You know, sportsmanship is still king, but certainly the sideline on Oxford, a little irritated, so we'll see what happens, but definitely the referees taking control of the game. Back to you.
As they should. Let's just see if that holds up for the next 11-23.
Yeah, I understand the sentiment there, Chris, but you don't want to have that kind of game. I think it's too late for that. I think it has been that kind of game.
All right, here we go with Joseph Del Toro once again. We're still not playing.
It's a tough pill to swallow if you're on a losing side of this kind of game. Oxford feeling like they came out of the locker room as best as they could have hoped with their offense scoring on the opening drive. And again, the flags haven't determined this outcome or Clay-Chalkville's response, but you could tell that it's taken away from Oxford's attitude and their mentality on that sideline.
And there you see the change of score, and we've got a player down. 2. Good. They're both up. Point after is no good. Look good. I believe the score is Clay-Chalkville 39, Oxford 16, but we can check all that after the break on Jeff Coed TV.
Step into the magic of the holiday season. On December 12th, join us at the historic Florentine for the Winter Wonderland Gala and silent auction. Enjoy an evening of live music, festive drinks, and delicious food, all while supporting the Jefferson County Schools Education Foundation. Reserve your tickets today by scanning the QR code on your screen or go to jeffcoed.com/gala. This event is for guests 21 and older.
Well, there was another flag down following the missed point after, which indeed it was. So it's Clay-Chalkville 39 now, Oxford 16. But there may be an assessment here on the kickoff.
A couple of them, I think, is what's going to end up happening. Because there was still the flag from the touchdown that was going to be assessed on the kickoff. And then a flag on the extra point that will also be assessed on the kickoff. I mean, trust me, I get the frustration for Coach Adams there, and I know we've seen Coach Floyd be frustrated too. I would have a feeling that both coaches are going to be looking at, back on film maybe as early as tonight, not just to see what calls were correct or not, but with this kind of game, you're looking at what players made mistakes, what players are pushing, what players need to run a little bit more on Monday.
Not just to criticize the
no,
official.
It's not.
More so to find out if your player was involved in shenanigans or were they just holding at the wrong time, not doing their job, as Sam Adams said earlier. Do your job. Have you heard that before? Well, the penalty is against Oxford. Well, it's a little bit crazy. I'm not sure the officials know where they're going to spot the ball.
Well, everyone's lining up on the wrong side of the field right now. Clay-Chalkville is going left to right, and no one seemed to realize that.
You don't need to go over the game film to figure that part out, will you? Okay, here we go. That was odd, too.
Now, Floyd is saying there was, or it looks like he's being told that there was no flag on the extra point.
I saw one on the ground. Maybe it was just left over from the third
He's
quarter.
asking 2. I don't know if he's saying it's 2 on a player or if he's asking for 2 15-yard penalties. I think we can say at the very least there will be film for everybody to watch, both coaches. I think the AHSA will probably watch quite a bit of this game. I think this officiating crew will watch back quite a bit of this game.
Well, you can see both coaches. Now they're going to go back to the other end of the field.
Field goal. They're redoing the extra point.
Redo the extra point. This is absolutely bananas.
This is the second time a play has happened. It has happened. There's no reason that it didn't happen. A play has happened, and the officials didn't know what to do, so they just said, replay it.
We'll do it over. You know, that's like in the backyard. Do over. Yeah, the other one was at midfield when it
A big third down.
First down, and it wasn't, and they
turned into a 51-yard touchdown run, I believe, or a 54-yard touchdown pass.
You are
That's
correct.
right.
So they actually had players in position to kick and receive the football. Then Stuart Floyd was out on the field. They were also talking to Sam Adams on the Oxford sideline. And hey,
I wonder if this all goes back to the fact that we thought it was a good extra point. They didn't. They didn't know. No one knew if it was good or not because everyone was focused on the pushing at the line of scrimmage. And so now they're like, well, we don't know if he made it or not. Give him another chance. That's just
that's like
that's not how football works.
We didn't know if he was there or not. But anyway, they're going to try it again. But I would have to give that particular argument to Coach Floyd because they're kicking it over again. High snap. Aaron Fry manages to get it down, and it goes through. Are we sure? Bye.
This just sit back and it reminds you of you ever see the play in baseball? They went back and called a home run fair, and they made the player go back to home plate and pretend to swing and then run the bases.
That's a big social media.
Felt like they were going to make him pretend to kick a ball. I'm not putting anything past this crew at this point.
Hey, I want to remind you that we're going to be busy again in just 4 or 5 days. We'll be out in Fultondale, and we are going to carry right here on Jeffco Ed TV the Middle School Football Championships. McAdory, the Yellow Jackets, and the Wildcats. It will be at Fultondale on Jeffco Ed TV. This one will start at 6 p.m. There's Scott Griffin on the Cougar sideline.
I was 2 years younger when the clock moved the last time. It's been crazy, right? So what happened, obviously, I'm sure Caleb caught it. He catches everything. There was a personal foul on it, this extra point, right? So you're supposed to kick it then, and then they come back, and we've got chaos, and they finally figured it out after 10 minutes.
So the flag, they realized that there were 2 flags. They realized there were 2 flags, and one was on the play, not after the play. So they re-kicked it instead of putting a second flag on the kickoff.
And now the Bull is kicking off inside Oxford territory at their 45, and he's just going to drill it. Now, there's the first thing that's happened since Scott was 2 years younger that actually is not going to be disputed. You're not going to have to take time.
I will say, the clock still doesn't move. The clock still didn't move.
So Scott aged another year? Is that what you said?
Leading Thompson, 27-23.
Wow.
That's the end of the third quarter. Trust me, I'm keeping track too.
Okay.
I've been able to check every score in the country since the last time we had an offensive snap.
All right, we've sorted it out once again. That was obviously, definitely a touchback. So Oxford will have the ball now trailing 40-16 at their own 20-yard line. Mims, your quarterback, flips it out into the flat, going to the far sideline and the boundaries. That's Williams. Into the boundary, he'll get 1, maybe 2.
This is, again, you're looking at it, it's a 24-point game. Clay-Chalkville is in control of this game. But, man, trying to be a coach, worrying about the officiating while you also have to worry about coaching your team and getting back out there and being like, hey, we got to call a play. Yeah. You know, we got to go out there trying to gain yards. Your starters are still in. This isn't like a game over. But, boy, it is hard to stay focused right now.
Maddox Mims hands off at left tackle, and he might have gotten a yard.
J.G. Taylor with the stop.
Taylor on the stop. Is that clock really moving, Caleb? See it?
I see it. I see it.
Okay. That is not a mirage.
3rd and 7, ball at the
24-point lead. Oxford is trying to overcome. They'll send a motion, man in motion. Back to pass, Mims. He wants to throw deep. A lot of contact there, and there's the flag. They're going to call interference. Deion Collins is going to be flagged for.
Honestly, I've seen Jalen Taylor kind of beat Collins multiple times tonight. A lot of tugging going on. That's the first time they actually threw it up to him. And, you know, they've had some good battles over there, and I kind of, especially in a game like this, you like to see it after that flag came out. Collins and Taylor kind of, you know, shook hands. They said, hey, yeah, that was a good play. It was a good flag. Collins said, that was my bad. Move on. And it happened, you know.
So why are
Except
they
there
going the
is.
other way? Well, the line of scrimmage was back inside the 25.
I believe it was at the 23, and there it goes.
And this will be an obvious first down for Oxford.
I will say Floyd at halftime said things that he doesn't like. He wishes that the crowd was into it a little more. The crowd's definitely been into it. But I think in the second half what he's going to say he doesn't like is the flags on his team. They have 90 yards of penalties in this game now.
Seems like more than that.
And that's, I mean, you have 2 offsetting on top of that. It could be as high as 120.
Yeah. 15. Motion, Williams. Mims sets up the screen. Well designed and well defended. That looks to me to Isaiah Brown once again. You see 15. Also, he's got more than a handful of tackles. There's Maddox Mims, the sophomore quarterback. Looking to Adams for a play as we approach the 9-minute mark. Some substitutions going on for the Cougars. Looks like they had too many men on the field. They run it up the middle and immediately slam down for no gain. Melton maybe came up from the safety slot.
3rd down and 5, ball at the 38-yard line.
3rd and 5 for Oxford. Quite honestly, Yellow Jackets is probably pretty much out of this. But if they're going to do anything, they need a first down here. Mims throws. That pass is caught. That is Jalen Taylor, and that is a Yellow Jackets first down. It is a first down. As Yellow Jackets give a little NASCAR look, they're quickly to the line of scrimmage, which is 44-yard line. Mims has a little protection. Now he throws off that back foot off. Always dangerous. Now we got a late flag, as you see coming in from the left side of your screen.
I think there might be an argument for uncatchable ball, but that's why it's a holding instead of a defensive pass interference.
Well, I'm sure we'll. Yeah. Very good, Mr. Turntime. That puts it in Cougars territory at the 46-yard line.
And a first down for the Yellow Jackets, and the ball will go to the 46-yard line of the Cougars.
And we've got a timeout stoppage in play. And that is a Cougars timeout.
Let's give an update score we keep hearing now. Just goes final. Homewood beat Parker I know that's not Jefferson County teams, but that is a big win. Homewood clinches a region title. Parker, that's a team that no one wants to play as a 2 seed. They're usually a 1 seed. They're gonna run into someone who didn't want to play them much more earlier than I think most people wanted to see the Herd.
Big win for the Patriots. It looks like the Cougars are rolling to yet another here on Jeff Coed TV.
City leads outside Western 39-7.
Yeah, man.
And what appeared to be a huge surprise in South Alabama, Missouri Truman 41-17 over St. Paul.
Both bands are still playing nice and loud as we creep up on 9:30, 2.5 hours after kickoff.
There. Yes, and it's gotten chilly.
I like it. I've been dying to get some, just be chilly a little bit.
Fall weather, do you? From the 46, Oxford, 1st and 10. They try the right end, rolled up after a yard gain. On the carry was Dre Williams. He's been the mail carrier since about the first quarter on.
Yeah, it's his 15th carry, and credit to Clay-Chalkville's defensive front. He hasn't had a carry longer than 7 yards, and most of those are 1-2 yards. So they've done a good job limiting Oxford's run game.
Now they say he lost the yard. It's 2nd and 11. He's going to lose some here too. He goes down back at midfield. That'll lose another 4.
Boy, the timing on that blitz was perfect, coming up as from the middle linebacker spot. He's done that a couple of times. That's certainly the best timing he's had so far. Force a 3rd and long.
2 negative plays in a row will get you a 3rd and 13.
Homewood leads Parker 35-28.
Out of the gun, that's Williams in motion. Mims to play, sets up the screen. A little shake and bake. Pick up 6-7 yards. Still bring up 4th and long. JT Taylor on the stop. What Williams on the carry.
Ford.
I wonder if Dupree's back in.
Ford, credit to him, got a couple of touchdowns. He's been their workhorse. I know we talked about Taylor early in the game.
Did he carry that? Okay.
It was just a little screen pass out to Ford again. 81 yards on 5 catches and 2 scores. He's done his job tonight.
From the 43. 4th and 7. Mims tosses far sideline. Williams, did he stretch it across the line and get the field goal? I'm going to let Caleb tell you.
I think he started stretching. I don't think he needed to. He ended up keeping his feet in bounds a little bit longer than I think anyone expected him to. Another 4th down conversion, their 3rd of the night.
Well, and there's a toss to the weak side. Yeah, earlier I said we were talking a little bit about running to that side. They've done that a few times. It's been very successful. It's not a Utah pass, but it's just a soft little, almost like a one-hand jump shot.
Sometimes it's been a pass, sometimes it's been a pitch. They keep using it. Get it moving on the right side or on the short side of the field, and it's worked well for them.
6:02 remaining.
In the Hemphill Services 4th quarter.
And it is 1st and 10. Oxford slowly, surely moving the football. Now at the Cougars' 33-yard line. And you can see it on the screen there on Jeff Coed TV. You got trips are coming to the bottom. Now they'll go 2 with Ford in the slot. Back to pass. Maddox Mims wants to throw deep towards the end zone. And that was probably closer to an interception than a Ford completion as Taylor Melton made the play.
Yeah, I think it's funny. He tracked that ball like a defensive back. If he had tracked it like a receiver and ran underneath it, he would have had an interception. But, you know, he's taught to high point that ball. Don't let it wait for come to him. And he tried to go up and get it. It just went through his hands.
Throws a ground ball to Ford. A one-hopper, really.
Hadn't thrown many incompletions tonight. He certainly had to throw a lot more when the deficit started growing. But I've been impressed. First time I've seen Maddox Mims in person. I think he's got a bright future. Here is sophomore.
Yeah, sophomore.
I think he's gonna remember this Clay-Chalkville game well, and I fully expect.
To as well. I think I'm going to remember it, especially the third quarter and then part of the fourth. Under pressure, Mims throws a dart to Bo Mims. And they'll get a couple.
By number 5, Bo Mims, the tight end for the Yellow Jackets. And that'll bring up 4th down. Ball gets to the 29-yard line. It'll be 4th and 6.
18 for 24 now for Maddox Mims. His first completion to his brother, as we talked about at the top of the show.
Looking at him as a sophomore, he kind of has a prospect on his back too. Mims rolls under pressure. Here come the Cougars. He throws. Is that pass caught? If so, it's a first down. That's Ford again.
Ford, number 4. 4 for 4 on 4th downs. That's all I got.
That's all he's done. Wow, oops.
Boy, great camera work there.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he didn't halfway drop that, but we're not going. There is no review, Caleb. There's a quick pitch, far boundary. Williams cuts inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. Goes Dre Williams. How many carries he's got? 16?
That's 17 now.
He's been a real workhorse. Unfortunately, does not have a whole lot to show for it. There, though, he got 5. 2nd down and 5. Oxford looking for respect points here. Williams up the middle. Had a hole that closed in a hurry. That looks to be Isaiah Brown again. Well, the PA announcer agrees with me.
He has been. He's been everywhere.
Third and 4, and we had movement. I believe Clay-Chalkville, yes. Rod tells the story, jumped off sides, so that'll be a good thing for the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a first down. I do not know. It's going to be 1st and 10.
That's a penalty where, like, you obviously aren't letting go the personal fouls and everything that happens there. You can almost account to a chippy game for that. A 3rd and 4 offsides, that is one that they'll talk about for sure.
Quick pass. That's Brown again. Bo Mims was the intended receiver.
He didn't secure that ball even before getting hit. He was trying to turn without it.
That's Xavier Sparks, the other number 2 for the Cougars. Incomplete pass. Stops the clock at 3:30. Motion. Stop. Williams is absolutely smothered for a couple of yards lost, and guess who? It's Brown.
I don't know how you get there so quickly. That just happened so fast. It wasn't even a delayed handoff. It wasn't like jumping to time a blitz, or it was just a simple.
You think there's a tail there?
There might be.
I think he's done that a couple of times. Lowe was in there to congratulate him, but not for Brown. Lowe would have had him. 3rd and 12. Mims rolling, looking into the end zone, intended for Ford, but broken up. And there's Starks.
It's one of the first times I've been able to hear his name tonight. Mims is going to want that one back. Ford was open on his break from the route. Though was a little behind him. Still a good play from Starks to get over because he was beat, but he recovered nicely to knock that pass away. The Cougars haven't stopped Oxford on 4th down tonight. This is certainly the longest.
See what happens here. Yeah, this is 4th and 13. They need to get to the 1 yard line. I'm sure they prefer the end zone. But let's see. Maddox Mims, the sophomore, back to pass. Williams picks up the blitz, but he can't do it from both sides. There's a sack, and the first 4th down unsuccessful by Oxford. That's quite interesting.
And that's McIntyre's first sack of the night. First time Mims has been sacked. They did have a sack on Jenkins earlier. That's the first time they've brought down Mims in the backfield. Again, you get in that 4th and long situation. You have to hold the ball a little bit longer.
Yeah.
That was clearly part of the game plan for Oxford. They did not want Mims to be holding the ball and taking hits. For the most part, they accomplished that. But, again, it comes back to Oxford's issue kind of all season long has been their defense, and they couldn't slow down Clay-Chalkville tonight.
Turnover on downs. And Fry's going to have a seat. Woods, however, is not. He's going to have about 4.5 yards. Scott Griffin.
Woods gets to the 29-yard line.
Isaiah Brown, guys, you guys have been calling his name all night. He's a junior linebacker. He's built like a tank. His lower body is unbelievable. Such great power and quickness. No offers. No offers right now. I think somebody needs to be taking a look at number 15.
Show him the film from tonight. That's all you need.
That's it. Second down and 6. Cougars. Just giving a running back again. They're just going to grind it out and run some clock.
Woods now up to 95 yards. That might be the reason you still see him in there. I know your stats aren't everything by any means, but you like to give your guys an accomplishment when they can get it, and he's just a few yards away. I would suspect they give it to him again here on 3rd and short. Give him one last chance to get those 5 yards.
I am not certain because his jersey's twisted. It may be Xavier Carroll in a quarterback. And he's got the keeper. He's going to get the first down, and he is on the run, still on the run. Wow. To midfield on a pickup of almost 20 yards.
Tough running from a guy who doesn't have a lot of size. I thought he was just going to get the first down, get dragged down, but he kept fighting through those arm tacklers. They gained an extra 5 there. Did not expect to see him work through that.
That's Eldridge at quarterback.
Play calls might still be coming in here. Well, this might be a kneel. They haven't been taking too many under center.
I believe this is a kneel. Eldridge will do just that. And depending on when they stop the play clock, start the play clock. That's over. Well, technically, we got 30 seconds to reel off the clock. Well, it got sloppy, but end result is kind of what we thought.
Yeah, it is. I think I expected a comfortable win for Clay-Chalkville still. Oxford showed their ability. I mean, they had flashes. I think we saw 2 good football teams play not even close to their best football tonight. I mean, Clay-Chalkville had showed flashes. They didn't need Corey Barber all that much tonight. Massive game from Aaron Fry, who had 3 touchdown runs, a touchdown pass that really capped things off there after the personal fouls back and forth. But that's a region title for Clay-Chalkville. They got that back from Oxford that they lost last year, and it's just I expect more from both of these teams. I mean, I can be frustrated. Fans are frustrated. Refs, coaches are frustrated about how some of the second half went. But there's a lot of good players on both of these teams, and you're going to see, I think, both of them win games in the postseason. So you're going to hear a lot more from both the Cougars and the Yellow Jackets this year, I think.
Not any chippiness in the line. Congratulating. That's very good to see, obviously. As Clay-Chalkville will remain undefeated. Now 5-0 in the region. This is 6A Region 6. Oxford will drop to an even 4-4 and 3-2 in 6A Region 6 play. Some congratulations going on. Our Scott Griffin is going to track down Stuart Floyd. Next week, we'll go to McAdory. Midweek, we go to Fultondale, to the middle school.
I do have some big news from the other side of this region. Pinson Valley needed a win tonight to get into the playoffs. They lost on a field goal as time expired against Pell City. That means Pell City will get that final playoff spot, and maybe even a 3 seed. They could get the 2 seed, I believe, too. That 4th spot is up for grabs now. I think Mountain Brook, Pell City, these 2 teams right here, those are your 4 playoff teams. Pinson Valley just misses out.
Well, let's hear from the winning coach and Scott Griffin.
All right, we're here with Stuart Floyd. He got a little chippy there at the end, but, it's region football.
Yeah, it's, when you got a championship on the line, it's going to get like that. And they're a good opponent, we got ahead and, try to tell the guys they're going to come back and compete and they're not going to quit. But kids think that old people are stupid and we don't know anything. It's a good lesson for us to learn.
So, what are you, just initial reaction before you look at video? You think he played well?
No, not really.
Never satisfied.
No, it's not that, man. It's just, we were flat. We got some selfishness on our team that, every great civilization collapses from the inside, and if we don't fix that crap, we ain't gonna go very far.
Yeah. Aaron Fry, so dangerous with his legs. The 20 pounds we've talked about a lot of times. He's just a different player.
Yeah, man, he's really been playing some good football the last 4 or 5 weeks and just making good decisions, taking care of the ball, knowing when to take chances and not when to. And he's a great leader, man. He's got a great attitude and shows up and works every day, and he's one of our best kids.
Finally, I think Pinson Valley's the last game, right?
Yeah.
So how do you handle that when you're in things you don't really improve yourself, but obviously on the field you can?
Yeah, I mean, it's senior night, and it's Pinson, right? They're 3 miles down the road. Everybody knows each other, so they're going to play their best regardless. I don't know if they won or lost tonight, but regardless of the record, they're going to play hard. They've gotten better. Coach has done a good job over there improving them, and they're going to play their best ball.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stuart Floyd winning. They're the #1 team. Look, they may be the best team in the state regardless of classification. They're that good. Back to you guys up there.
Thank you, Scott, and also thank Chris Osborne because we had some great insight from the sidelines. And once again, I got to say, Stuart Ford is the most matter-of-fact, fatherly-like, talking to his kids coach I have seen in a lot. And for an old-school guy like me, that's refreshing.
You like to hear him talk so straightforward about that. And that's why I said we saw 2 good teams tonight not play their best ball, and the coach agreed with it. That's not surprising the way he talked about his team. He knows he has a higher standard for his team. They're 9-0 now.
Yeah.
And he's talking like they just won a game and barely snuck into the playoffs. They just won a region title. But that's where their goals are at. Their goals are at a state championship, and he knows they'll have to play better. They'll have to have better attitudes. They'll have to have better discipline if they want to win those bigger games down the road in the postseason.
Final score, Clay-Chalkville over Oxford, 40-16. Caleb, I'm heading back to Talladega. You want to go racing with me?
I think I'm going to go home and watch some football tomorrow.
All right, let's go. Good night from Clay-Chalkville.